Hello and welcome everyone to this week's edition of Death's Curios. This week's edition and next week's, we're calling it Robbie's Angels, as I'll get to the the pretense of the campaign in just a few moments. But first, I am going to be letting you know that I'm the Dungeon Master for this evening. I know you were probably expecting a hollow tale, but I have usurped him, and now I am in control. So, we're going to keep up our usual Death's Deal that we do at the beginning of the show, because, at least got to keep the same format. So, last week, you all decided to listen to the child as they gestured to the trap door and decided to go down. You descend into the darkness, and it gets darker as you descend, but not so dark so as you can't see. There is a dimly lit tunnel ahead of you. The floor is surprisingly clear of dust, implying that there must be a decent bit of foot traffic, or at least someone to keep it clean down here. After walking for a few minutes, maybe, it feels like hours, you start to hear voices, whispers, echoing down the hall, and you cautiously approach. You're not quite able to determine their direction, but you see that the corridor ahead of you splits into two directions. One goes down a darkened tunnel that seems to have a downward slope. The other continues the same level you're at, but has a faint glow that emanates from it. So, that is your decision for this week. Do you all choose the darkened tunnel, or do you approach the light? That, my friends, is the quandary we have in front of you. And of course, we'll pick up next week with that decision. Until then, however, let's go around and let's meet our cast and crew, see how everyone's doing, and who they're going to be playing this week. Hi, everyone. How are you all doing today? Unfortunately, Greybeard Tavern is going to be with us just a bit late, so they'll be with us very soon. I, of course, am the keeper. I am Laughing of Lindy, and the premise for this week is slightly different. You may notice that everyone looks different. I'm not going to be eating people as Magdalena tonight. We are all aware of the tragic events that happened last week when the American gang and Robbie's boys faced off at the railway bar. And it didn't fare so well for Robbie's boys. So what we have here is Robbie's Angels. These are the grieved people left behind after that tragic incident. Widows, mothers, lovers of the deceased. And they're gonna fight back. So let's meet some of these bold, brave, and tragically devastated individuals. Let's start off with Humbledore. Who are you playing and how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm playing Edith Cook, a 57-year-old lady who is a brilliant cook, a pub owner of the Skeleton Key, and her entire family, her now deceased son's missing daughter and husband were all heavily involved in Robbie's gang. So I have vested interest to get my revenge tonight.
Yes. And who are your deceased relatives and injured ones? Tell us a little bit about them.
Okay. So there was my husband, Jonathan. He was called the Pinwheel, for he was one of the enforcers of the gang. There was also Terence, aka Whippet. He was a cleaner and burglar. He was a shifty-eyed, thin boy. There was Derry, also known as Shanks. He was one of the best hitman and first aiders on hand. He isn't dead, but he's in a coma that he probably won't wake up from. And lastly, my daughter Red, or Poppy, who is missing.
Tragic indeed. Well, hopefully we'll get some vengeance and maybe find some of them, help some of them heal. Who knows? We will find out. We also have Shakespeare with us this evening.
Hi. I am good, and I am playing Vicky Morebone, who was born Victor, and is a 21-year-old ex-Molly. For anyone who's not in on the Victorian London slang, a Molly was a male prostitute who gave up the job when he met his absolute love of his life, Harry. Decided to live with him and basically be kept.
Excellent, excellent. We are very excited to be playing with Vicky this evening. And of course, we don't have Greybeard with us, so currently last is Lar Gloria. How are you doing?
I was also muted, but I'm also grieving. And, you know...
A moment of silence.
Missing the
fallen.
level. Yeah. So I am Laurie as usual, but I'll be playing Letty O'Malley. But don't let the Irish last name fool you. She's not actually Irish. She's a proper British lass before she met the love of her life. You know, very Irish, very red-headed Thomas O'Malley, whom she even dyed her hair red for. And... you know, they're having a really good marriage, 4 years, thinking of kids. She's never going to have any ginger babies running around now because her husband is dead and she wants revenge. As an ex-hatter, and still is a hatter, her mercurial temper can get the best of her, and she's very, very anti-American these days.
Well, as all of these people probably should be after what just went down. Was not civil at all. What happened to a nice civil gang war? Come on. Anyways, Greybeard will be playing Gino, Stabby Gino, who is an American, but he defected a bit of time ago to Robbie's side, so we can trust him, right? Now, we'll get into today's episode, but first, a word from our sponsors.
Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are done using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer and 40k minis for up to 20% off regular retail price. And Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. Go and check them out at tabletoploot.com.
And we are back. It's raining. It's a bit of a chilly day in the city of London as we look around and these grieving people are standing in a graveyard. There are many actually, freshly dug graves about. It's quite a melancholy scene. There is someone there doing the services, though, and umbrellas have been passed out as best they can. As you see, looks to be a preacher step up to the graves, clasping his hands. My name is Father Seamus from Whitechapel Catholic Church. On behalf of the family, I would like to thank all of you for coming out here today. I'm honored to stand before you to conduct this service. When someone we love dies unexpectedly, there is a tremendous amount of shock. When a husband, a father, a brother, or a friend suddenly no longer with us, it can trigger very strong reactions, emotions, and questions. This is perfectly normal, and I expect you all to process these in different ways. It's perfectly normal and natural. For Henry Malbone, Jonathan Cook, Terence Cook, Thomas O'Malley, Callum O'Connor, the journey is now beginning for them, but for us, there is loss, grief, and pain. Every one of us here has been affected, perhaps in small ways, perhaps in transformative ones, by these men. Their lives mattered to us all. It is important for us to collectively acknowledge and accept that the world has been fundamentally changed with their passing, and with we are all grieving. Life will not be the same, nor should it be, But together, let us open our hearts and commemorate the impact they had on us. Would anyone like to say a few words for the fallen?
Vicky is like kneeling at the side of one of the open graves, just like hands clenched in the side of it. Just crying.
How is Edith reacting? What is Edith doing at this funeral?
She stood with like her hands clasped behind her back, just with her veil down, and just scanning over the audience to see if her daughter has turned up.
Give me a wit check. Perception
Okay.
wit check.
1 second.
No problem.
There we go. A 15.
15. You look at the faces surrounding these graves. You see several people you recognize. None of them, unfortunately, seem to be your daughter.
Okay. In that case, she'll step forward. I'm guessing I know Vicky and Letty as well.
Yeah, you've met them before. How well you know each other is up to you. How is Letty reacting to all this? We all know Vicky is incredibly distraught at the edge of the grave.
Letty's actually just kind of knelt with like a very comforting hand, like, you know, like rubbing Vicky's back as best as she can, like the least too touchy ways possible. She's just kind of silently crying.
Yeah.
Right.
Very, you know, quiet.
There's a couple people who come up and say words. You've met maybe a couple of them. Everyone's pretty somber, though. And the service wraps up with Father Seamus. All right, now we will fill in the graves. I suggest everyone take a moment of silence for the dead and then proceed home. If you need any counseling or have anything you'd like to say or any questions you'd like to ask, you can find me at the chapel. And he gets a shovel, and some of the other men that are there grab shovels as well and begin filling in the graves.
Before you leave,
Yes, Miss
a
O'Malley.
question.
Of course.
What will happen to my husband?
Your husband. He was a good man. I expect so. I mean, he went out fighting those dirty Americans.
Then what will happen to the Americans once they too pass?
It's not for me to say. That's for the Lord to judge them. But if I had my dithers about it, he kind of looks downwards.
Edith will step up and she'll actually begin at least doing a few shuffles of dirt onto the graves of her son and husband.
Yeah, most
And
people
then-
kind of sprinkle a handful of dirt as they pass or as they leave.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
as
Vicky
I
is now
pass-
trying to shove people away from Harry's
Yeah.
grave, just like, no!
Yeah, as I pass Letty and the priest talking about this, I just lean in to Letty and go, they're going straight to hell, and you know it.
I'd hope so.
Come find
But
me
I'd be
after.
there to see them. Of course.
Let's have a wake at the pub.
She nods, and then she kind of looks over to Vicky. Please, you're...
Come on, up you get. And I come up to her and I come up to them and I just scoop them up.
Yeah, there's nothing of him, so yeah.
Come on, let's get a good meal down you. No point in all this crying business. Too pretty to cry. And she'll just lead him by the elbow with no shits given. Just get out of there.
Yeah, right up
question is, does
until the
Vicky
too
feel, like,
pretty
extra,
to lie,
extra, like-
it was just like, nope, still fighting, and then it was just like, yes, I am too pretty to cry.
Yeah.
I love
fine.
that.
All right. Does Letty follow them as well to the was it
Yeah.
the Skeleton Key pub?
Yes, the skeleton key.
skeleton key.
She'll,
There's a couple
adjust
people
her hat.
who also kind of head off in that direction. They know it's a safe place to meet and congregate at, and after that, they're probably gonna want a couple pints.
Yeah, that's fine. They're all welcome. We'll head back. We'll have a nice walk through the streets.
All
Nice.
right. You have a walk through the streets, and as you do, you can't help but pass by the railway pub. The rain has just recently started. It's begun to wash the blood out down the streets, kind of into the gutters, into the alleyways. But the scene is still quite fresh. And I need all three of you to make me wit checks.
Okay.
Ooh.
Not cry.
Ooh,
No, that
hey,
would be a will check. Will check to not cry if you're on the verge of tears.
Oh, okay.
I remember
No, I'm
that.
pretty good
I
for
was
that.
like, that's a bit late. 3. I am good at this. 13. Lucky number. Good start.
You're not. You're like
17.
just have a sniffle, but you're able to keep your cool, Loria. Letty. So all three of you notice that the railway pub is closed for business for the day currently. The door is shut and locked, and you notice there is a sharply dressed young boy there. He looks to be somewhere between the ages of 8 and 12. He's kind of looking at the pub, or the railway pub, in confusion, like, why is it closed?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Oh,
She kind of calls out and waves like...
he instantly
Hello.
turns his head to look at you. Oh, hello there, miss.
Hi. You do know it's not
do
very
you-
safe to be around here.
Oh, I know, I'm aware. Do you know why the railway pub is closed?
Vicky just points to the blood in the street.
Well, it's raining, so probably the blood's like being washed away.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's very diluted. You can just see a little bit of it being washed out.
Yeah.
Washed
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, she
Edith
looks at
is
the boy
gonna,
very
like-
confused. He's sharply dressed, and he looks like he's from, like, you know how Letty works with, like, the upper class as well? Like, does he look like he's from
Yes.
the upper class?
Yes, he
Oh,
does.
You must be from Upper London.
Yes, miss.
Yes.
I have a.
Not good
Vicky
to be here.
spits.
Yeah, I just
As
gotta
soon
look
as
at
Upper
Vicky like,
London is mentioned, it's like...
This Edith is gonna like bend down on her cane and just like get on eye level with this boy so that she can see her eyes through the veil.
You
He's
look
British
into his eyes, and this boy has eyes that are older than he looks. You can see in his eyes he's seen some stuff. He's experienced some things.
You born and raised here, lad?
No, I actually lived in Ireland before this, but I live here now. I have a message for Mr. Robbie Carr. I was supposed to find him here at the pub. Do you know where he'd be?
I'm afraid you won't be reaching him anytime soon. The Americans took him.
The Americans.
Filthy
Alright.
colonial scum that killed our husband.
Bloody Yanks.
Not all of them are bad. She kind of like looks over at Vicky. Come on, Juno isn't too bad.
Yeah, but where is
For
he
what
at the
it's worth.
funeral, eh? Showing his true loyalty, clearly. Listen, lad, it's probably best that you stay out of it. You've already seen
But I
enough
have a
of it.
very important message from Lady Faye Dunmire.
Perhaps we could take him to the pub. At least keep him away from this rain. I do feel bad for the poor thing.
Have you eaten?
I'll let all of you make a streetwise check to see if you've heard of Lady Faye Dunmire, if you'd like.
Yes,
Okie dokie.
I would love that. Thank you.
Whoops. It's not the best, but still.
12.
14.
14. All right. So Edith, you're like some fancy lady. Vicky and Letty, you two, you've heard of a Lady Faye Dunmire before. You know she's upper class, she lives in Upper London, but she does come down, and she does a lot of charity work in the area. She brings food down. She especially does a lot of work with orphans and young kids. She also does a lot of doctoring and medicine for the less fortunate. So, well, a lot of nobility is regarded as... She's one of the ones that's kind of passable down here, as far as the common person's opinion goes.
Alright. And she comes to here, in this pub, usually.
Not to this pub. You haven't heard anything specifically between her and Robbie. She works more with kids.
Yeah, if that's
youth.
the case. Yeah, she just kind of like, she'll nod and look it over at Edith in the back of the boy. You would probably have a better time finding her at the orphanage.
Oh, this is a message from her for Mr. Carr.
Oh.
What's the message, boy?
I'm only supposed to tell it to Mr. Robbie.
Well, if you want to walk into the middle of a mob, little man, you'd be my guest. But we had enough British blood on the streets already. What's the message?
Give me a charm check.
Intimidation.
Intimidation.
I'm the least charming pub owner you'll ever meet. Fuck. Oh,
She's
not bad for
likable
me.
in like a proud way. I love that.
17!
Oh my
Yeah, there you go. He's like...
Treat him like a mum.
I'm only supposed to tell Mr. Carr, but it's from his Miss Dunmire. She's been traveling with some people by request of what was her name? The real fancy lady who works for the Queen. They were out of town on business, but Lilith's coming back. That's the message for Robbie. She'll be back here probably within a week. You all know Lilith. Lilith is one of Robbie's closest friends, and Robbie is her best friend. She does a lot of work in the gang. She brings in a lot of money. She is one of the best con artists you guys have seen. And she went out of town recently to go to York. Pretty much everyone thought she was dead and done for by orders of the Queen, but apparently news is she's coming back soon, according to this young lad.
That elicits through the veil, just a small, her lip just curls up just at the edge. That's probably the best news I've heard all day.
Oh, you know her then? Oh, she's very nice. I met her.
Some would say too nice.
Very nice.
I loved her fashion sense.
If we see Robbie, we'll let him know. All right?
Please do. It was really important to her that he got the message.
No, you should probably get yourself some tea and get out of this cold.
You're right, Mum. Thank you, Miss Mally, and Twitter's off.
Did I ever tell him my name? I kind of look over at... Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, she kind of just looks at Edith like, did I introduce myself? I'm sure.
I don't
This is
remember.
why I hate kids.
Right.
Well, gotta admit, I'm a little bit jealous of this Faye. At least she's got her children. She begins to just stumble off back to the pub.
You know, Mrs. Cook, you don't have to host this for us. I know out of all of us, you've lost the most.
I mean this in the best way I can, O'Malley. Pipe down.
Alright.
Just because life's over doesn't mean our lives stop.
It says you.
Feels like it has. I'm inclined to agree with Vicky here.
And she huddles them both in, and I said, "Are we just gonna cry about it? Or are we gonna do something about it?"
Vicky produces a bottle of gin.
We could
From
drink
under
it
his skirts, just
You know what? That's the first step. Let's go.
All right. So you all get to the Skeleton Key pub. Why don't you describe how your pub looks, Edith?
So it's actually fairly gothic in its architecture. It's very much a kind of, when you look, if you ever walk through an English town and you look up above the shop line, you see very much the old architecture of the town, like the extra engravings and stuff. But it's very sort of dilapidated because it's in Lower London. The furniture inside is kind of a mishmash. It seems to have been like old, like collected and like refurbished stuff that maybe aristocrats had thrown out very long time ago. So tables are all like scratched, but it's homey enough. And the thing that permeates it is definitely the smell of just good cooking. That's probably the main thing about it.
It's like a home away from home.
Yeah.
Out of one of the windows, there's like, you get this great view when the smog's not, really thick, of this really creepy house, like in the distance on the hill. Rumored to be haunted.
Yeah,
So-
the house that the sheep disappear to.
Yeah, it's the weird rumors about that house.
Yeah.
But you're all able to get in, sit down, have a drink. There are a few patrons inside already, kind of mulling over their pints. A couple from the funeral probably beat you home since you were talking to that young lad for a moment. And Father Seamus is one of the people who winds up coming in after a little while as well. He orders just the strongest thing you've got.
Yeah, I pour him a whiskey on the house. Just
Oh.
one.
Thank you, Miss Cook. That's mighty kind of you.
Mm.
Oh.
Whatever you say, Father. So, you said you're Whitechapel, right?
Oh yes, Whitechapel Catholic Church.
Got any connections to the police?
I made a couple. What kind of connections are you looking for? You're looking for legitimate connections, or the kind of connections Mr. Carr was looking for in the police?
Nah, just the kind of connections that would actually do something about what's going on here. Well, let me guess. Nothing.
Good luck with that. The police don't like to get involved with this kind of gang violence.
Yeah, that she'll just lift up her veil. Then why even have a police force in the first place? They can all piss off to Upper London for all the good they do us.
Right.
That's mostly what they do. I kind of just sigh and like sink into my drink.
Mm-hmm. There is one fellow. He's got a beef with the Americans. He's a detective with the police force. Kind of one of the senior detectives, so he can pick and choose what he looks into, you know what I mean? You might be able to convince him to do something about it.
Does doing something involve gunning them all down?
Might.
Animals.
Or even, I don't suppose the police would ever want to help Robbie, would they?
Oh, probably not. But, let me tell you what. Based on what I've heard, if they could pick between the two of them, Robbie's boys are a tad less violent.
Much less violent.
Yeah.
Now, before those
Mr. Carr's
colonials
gent.
moved in, probably the most closest thing we have down here to a police force.
Probably, it's right. Oh, well, if you're interested in talking to him, if you're looking to get back at, Mr. Mickey, was it? Stupid Americans. I wouldn't mind having Robbie back. He does good work.
Nice to see you're advocating the Lord's work there, Father.
The Lord works in
Father.
mysterious ways, Miss Cook. I'm just a vessel, and if there's a chance to have more good than bad around here, I'd say Mr. Carr's the horse I'd bet on. If I was a gambling man, which of course, the Lord's man, I don't gamble. But if I did, I'd say you need to get some allies, help you bust them out, and then maybe you could find enough evidence, contraband, something real nasty that those Americans are working on. submit that to the police. No choice but to act if you find enough dirt on them. Something
Who's
that's going to
this
get
fella
to the heart. The detective's name is Fergus McDrew.
Fergus McDrew.
Fergus McDrew. He's a bit ornery, but what Scotsman isn't.
Would we have heard of him before?
You can give me a streetwise check. See if you've heard of
Okie
Fergus.
Because I'm from Whitechapel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is the 16?
19.
16, 19. All right. So, the 16 and the 19, you've both heard of Fergus McDrew. You've heard he's a detective. He did a lot of work on those Jack the Ripper investigations earlier. But Edith, you've heard about this with your 19. You heard that within the past year or so, he hasn't been doing nearly as much work as he had. Lost his wife in a tragic accident, or at least that's what the papers said. But there's something about his wife and daughter.
Well, if nothing
Doesn't
else,
do
we'll
as
bond
much
over
work.
the fact that we're both widows.
Mm.
So,
And you've probably heard Robbie mention him a couple times as one of the more cantankerous yet amenable ones. To you gotta slip a few pounds to somebody, that's who you slip a few pounds to.
well, and despite his orny reputation, hell hath no woman like a woman scorned, so I'd like to see him give me lip. So he looks like he's one to visit. What about you two? She looks over to Letty and Vicky.
It would be something to do. I don't particularly feel the mood to make more hats. Not with Thomas gone. It would be a nice distraction. At least to try to get some justice.
Not strangling a damn Yankee with my glove, but I suppose it'll do. In the
That'll
interim.
come in time, pet. Don't you worry. And they pat Vicky on the shoulder.
It's a
All right.
start.
Get some
Question,
food down
GM.
you. Clean up your tears. Get
Keeper.
drunk.
Right,
Do
why don't
we
you
know
give me
where
a
Poppy is?
cooking check to see how good this food is? Because I am curious, because you're really good at it.
I am. This is where I roll terribly. Yeah, I'm grieving. 12. So it's still good.
Well,
That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's still really good, but there's like a sadness in this soup.
Yeah, I put my veil
We
down
just start
again and
crying
cry a
into our
little bit. I'm just like,
Just kind of
stupid,
the soup's a little salty
stupid
and watered
onions.
down.
Yeah, just
Yeah. Tearful soup.
So,
But-
Keeper, do we know about Poppy or where she is?
You know about Poppy. I'm sure you've met her probably as Miss Cook's daughter. You have no idea where she is. You know she went to the railway bar. And there's a lad she fancies that attended there quite frequently. But then the showdown went down. She wasn't among the injured or the dead. She's been missing.
Okay, so I'm okay. So if that's the case, I'm probably quite worried about her. She's similar to my age, so.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably be like having my soup while looking very out of it, and just occasionally glancing over at Vicky, check how they are, and it's like. So. Oh, does this mean we're going to at least give this person a visit?
Probably for the
Right.
best. I mean, short of going back there and climbing into a hole in the ground, I don't really have any other plans. Drinks gin.
A tempting idea, that is sure. But not very prudent, I imagine.
Not known for my prudence. generally speaking.
And as you say that, someone walks through the door of the tavern. Someone that you know and recognize.
Yeah, Letty just like kind of glances over, like.
It's Gino! Welcome, Gregor! How are you doing today?
I'm here.
Yay!
Not quite in
Here is
character
better
yet,
than
but
that.
we'll get there.
Yeah, no problem.
So,
Why don't you, we had a funeral. It was very sad, very tragic. Tears were shed. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Gino, what he looks like and that kind of thing, and who it was that he lost.
all right. Gino is probably 5'5", maybe, with like high shoes on, and he's got slicked back hair. Next week it'll be black, and he's got the suit, and he was part of Mickey's gang at one point, but he kind of fell for Colum Cook. I can't remember the relation to Edith, but they.
I'm their mother.
Oh.
Colum's mom. Okay, all right. And
Just
so
remember
he.
that, Gino.
Yes, Mrs. Cook. They fell in love. Mickey found out that one of his guys was one of those guys and immediately kicked him from the gang. And then he kind of joined up with Robbie and his guys. So, Gino was able to give a little bit of insider information to Robbie. And the loss of Calum has hit Gino hard. Oh, I already described him. Yeah.
Yep.
Does he
so
stick with booze is the question.
Gino walked through the tavern. Now, Gino, you missed the funeral. You thought it was at one cemetery, and you got there and no one was there. You thought that was a little odd. And so by the time you got to the right ceremony, Father Seamus was just like putting the last bit of dirt on the last grave and just kind of gave you a look like you missed it. So you paid your respects, and Father Seamus told you that everyone was meeting up at the Skeleton Key pub, which you are quite familiar with as Miss Edith Cook's place. So you come through. It's been pouring down rain, but
And
Here
Gino
now.
doesn't have a hat or an umbrella, so he's extra slicked down, and his second-hand coat is definitely soaking too. So he kind of shakes it off, and knowing that he's got a weird position in this group as kind of the bad guy who is now on your side, he kind of stays to the sides. Not that he's not just kind of a quiet person anyway. But yeah, he kind of slides along the walls and tries to come in to say, maybe give his respects when the moment is right.
Yeah, Edith will spot him and immediately go over.
No.
She's like banging her with
Mother-in-law.
each step. She's banging her like paint on the floor.
Oh dear.
She just
And,
Father
gets
Seamus
right.
sees that it's just like,
I'm just shrinking behind Vicky because I'm scared of Edith when she's banging.
She's like
okay?
5'1", 5'2". She's like, and she gets right up in his face on her tiptoes and points up his chin. What the hell are you doing around here? Showing your face. You missed the funeral, and then you dare step in my house.
Pause. Does Edith know about Calum and Gino?
does she?
I mean, I'll roll a streetwise to see if I figure
Alright.
that out.
Streetwise.
Figured it out.
How good was Callum at hiding this?
Ooh.
Fairly good. I don't know. I know he's
Oh.
cheating on my daughter.
I'm gonna roll to see how
Can I?
good Callum was. Oh god,
Okay.
Callum was awful at hiding it.
Oh,
He was
can I
real
roll to see if I
bad.
picked up on the lovey vibes? Like the lovey-dovey vibes?
Sure.
Oh,
Gossip, let's do this. By the power
Yeah,
of gossip, please
can
give me
I
some.
roll
Is it
to see-
streetwise
Yes,
or
you
wit?
can.
Being the tiny gay that I am.
Streetwise. I mean, it's word on the street. Y'all are. It was,
Oh.
so.
please give me some juicy gossip.
Oh yeah,
By the power
Vicky.
of gossip.
18.
Yes!
Oh, Letty and Vicky definitely knew. Edith, you have an idea. I mean, Callum wasn't the best at hiding things, apparently. But Vicky and Letty definitely know. You suspect, Edith. You strongly suspect. You don't have any concrete.
I'm keeping my kind of. It's surprisingly, her fingernails are quite clean because she works in kitchens, but she's keeping just the sharpest edge she can just jammed under his chin.
All right. And he's trying to pay us respect, and he's only like this much taller than you. He's only like 5'5", so he's like looking you in the eye, and it's like, you know, me and Callum was friends. If I can't be here, then, you know, I won't be here. But I came to pay my respects and came to offer any assistance I can to your family.
Vicky just turns to Letty and kind of mouths.
She makes little air quotes back at Vicky and then looks over at Gina very pitifully. Mrs. Cook, I think we should just let this slide for once. Gino looks like he's been out the rain for a very long time. He's probably has his reasons for not showing up to the funeral.
And I look at Gino, waiting for an explanation.
Oh, okay. And he's like, he just gets deflated, like your fingers like point out, poke into his lower palate, and he's like, I went to the wrong place. The wrong goddamn funeral place.
If
It's tragic.
you're having a laugh, aren't you? You're having a fucking laugh. You went to the wrong graveyard.
Yeah,
Are you shitting me?
No, the city's fucking full. I mean, pardon my language.
There are a lot of graveyards
full
in
of
the
them.
city,
Yeah,
especially Lower London.
so many.
Right.
And
I'll
it's
tell
not
you
like
what. I'll tell you what, Gino.
Yeah.
You can stay, but you got to help me find my daughter. All right?
anything, Mrs. Cook, anything. I'll do this.
Don't make you promises you can't keep, Gino. You've already switched sides once.
And you see like a tear starting to go down the side of his face, and he says, No, I'll do it or I'll die trying. Caleb meant that much to me.
I'm gonna go over and hug Gino.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
very
slide him a
brave.
drink as well.
It's
She
very
backed
brief.
off.
It's kind of like and then just going back to my gin.
Yeah,
And
she'll back up with that.
he turns away and wipes the tear because he's, on the streets, he's like a psycho, people, he's supposed to be this tough little nut job. And so, yeah, he's trying to keep his rep, wipes an eye and kind of gives you a nod like it'll happen. And then tries to go get a drink.
Yeah, I just already slid one over for him. Like me and Vic, we know.
Yeah,
We're just like we'll secretly help you mourn.
yeah. This is the Widows Club.
I do get him a bowl of sad, salty soup. As well.
It's pretty tasty. It's just a little too salty.
Yeah, I put it down in front of him without a word, and if he complains, God help him.
No, there'd be no way. There'd be no way.
There
Everything
are never
here.
complaints about your food in your pub, Miss Cook. And on the rare occasion that there is, the person is swiftly removed from the premises.
Probably by the patrons.
Yes.
Probably include this.
Before he just has to even lift a finger, we're like, "What'd you say about Mrs. Cook's cooking?"
It's like, nah.
I'm having an off day today.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
losing your
understandable.
husband and children, does things to you.
Losing your husband, your son's one's in a coma, and your daughter's missing. I could see you having a bad day.
Yeah, if that's the case, at this point, Letty looks up at Edith, like, Mrs. Cook, so it's true that Red's still not around.
Nah, she didn't turn up at funeral either. Either that or she's hiding from me again. Might be lying
I
low
don't
for a while.
suppose. Hopefully she's lying low. Do you think that detective of yours would know something?
Have I ever, has my daughter ever sort of expressed an interest in the detective at all, or have I ever had to pay him off at any point about her activities, etc.? Do you think, Dungeon Master?
Muted.
I can't hear you.
Mm-mm.
Nothing.
Oh dear, this isn't good.
I'm muted. Sorry. I figured I'd get my cussing out before I fully unmuted. I don't think Edith, Vicky, or Letty has directly had any contact with the detective, but Gino, having once been in the American mob, would know about the detective. Detective Fergus MacDrew. He was typically known to be more on the side of Robbie's boys than the Americans. In fact, after one incident where Robbie paid off Mr. MacDrew, Mickey didn't like it very much. And Mickey went, like Mickey does, tactically and personally, and went to go rough up his wife and daughter a little bit. Things went a little too far, however. An accident happened, and Mrs. MacDrew and Miss MacDrew are no longer amongst the living. So that was right before you left the gang. It was probably a year and a half ago. And ever since then, he's been less seen as he's been grieving. But, he can be bought if it's for the right cause, and especially if it's against the Americans.
Okay.
He wants any chance of vengeance he gets back. He's been accumulating a case, you think, against them, but doesn't have enough concrete things to get the police to do something about it yet.
This is OOC just saying I hope he has a crazy wall. Hi, Tesla! Anyways, I really hope he has like a crazy wall just like full of like everything about the Americans.
Oh,
and all
he
that.
does.
Oh, yes. Hello, baby, you're so cute. Okay.
If I heard the comment about the detective, I guess Gina would say, he really does kind of, have something against the Americans, so he's probably got something. Would be worth checking out.
Perhaps.
Do you know where to find him?
You know a couple of his haunts. Give me a streetwise check. Gino?
Perfect. Second time looking at the character sheet. Streetwise.
Yeah, I think you have 4. I think everyone has 4 in streetwise.
Okay, alright. Couple of dice and a modifier. Boom. 2.
13. You know a couple places he likes to visit. He has a couple of haunts.
He's got a couple of joints that he hangs at, so, they're bleep and bleep. I tell you which ones they are, and
Yeah, he likes to hang out at an opium den. Lately, you've heard he's been hanging out there. You also know, I know,
Oh no. They're gonna have problems.
he's also been known to frequent a really grimy, dirty pub.
Because, the opium den or the shithole down by the dock.
If we're looking for if we're going to the opium den, I could probably get us into there. Steve like kind of like smiles a bit, but the other place I'm not so much acquainted with.
Well, we can try opium den first. I say a little bit too quickly. Before turning away.
Yeah, he just kind of looks at I look a bit confused. Like, well, I have a couple of associates I could probably get in contact with. They helped me help Thomas.
How long's that going to take?
Quite quickly. I have a couple of little mice along the streets. They could probably help send word.
Alright, O'Malley. Alright.
Remember my little, I don't know if you were around, Lindy, when I was like asking like, can I take that particular stunt when I have like basically like a little street network of orphans who are like super cute with me?
Uh-huh.
Because I will never have children on my own because my husband's dead and I'm mourning.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know that there's a boy who has his own little shoe shine operation on a street corner not too far from here. He's got crates and everything for people to sit on. He's coming up in the world.
He is. So if I give him a couple of pennies and stuff, you know.
Yeah. You know his name is Shoe Shining Sean.
Sean. Oh, I love
Sean's
this
shoe shining business. He has made a little sign. He had someone
shoes.
paint him a sign that says Sean's Shoe Shining Emporium, and he props it up against the crates. He's got like a chair on one of them. He's got his own little business, and you know he's not too far from here.
So I can have him be a little messenger, basically.
Yeah, he's a real good messenger, and sometimes he even has information. He is pretty much in the know because people always talk while they're getting their shoes shined.
If that is the case, yeah, she's like, well, I know just a little mouse. He is lovely. His name is Sean. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He shines shoes. You should give him a go sometime.
Y'all probably walk past it. You've probably seen it.
I'll be returning quickly. Are we just looking for them, or just trying to get entrance information? What are we looking for?
Entrance and to probably sample goods to take the pain away. She says very quietly.
Do you wish to sample goods?
You know, he's not a
willing
shy
to
kid,
chase
too,
no
so you're not
dragon.
going to scare him off by bringing other people if you want.
Can't just
I'll-
frequent a den without partaking. It looks weird.
I usually don't.
I am much
But-
too pretty to do that to my teeth.
You know what? I ain't got any teeth left. I'll take this one.
Alright then. Well, I'm going to
Taking one
find
for the
Sean.
team.
I'm gonna like. Do we have umbrellas at this day and age?
Yeah, there's some umbrellas.
Thank
I can
God.
give him a
They're not
parasol
like
if that
rated
bothered.
quality, but they'll do.
Yeah. I'll
Above
put
the
on my
shirt.
little, proper widow's hat that I just made for myself the past couple of
Yes.
and I'll take something to keep the rain away as much as I can and go off to find Sean.
Do you take anyone with you, or are you going by yourself?
Well, anyone who wishes to come, really.
Yeah, she's walking out on a mission for the overall job, then Gino would go, if nothing
Okay.
else. Because, again,
Yeah.
he's not exactly feeling comfortable here, so...
Yeah, that and a young lady walking
Really?
by herself.
Make you feel as welcome as I can, Gino.
What a gent.
Alright, so Gino and Letty are going off to see Sean's Shoe Shine Emporium. You get there, the rain's let up just a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And you approach him, and he's set up next to a kind of a boisterous tavern, so there's always a little bit of music that kind of floats out next to him. And he goes, "Oh, hi, Miss O'Malley. How can I help you today?"
Well, Sean, first
You here
of
to
all,
get your
this is
shoes
Gino.
shined?
Not-
Whips out a
Not
rag.
this time, dear.
Oh.
I do, however, have work for you, if you wish.
Are you here to get your shoe shines, mister?
Since we're here, why not? Let's sit down.
Right, have a seat in the throne. And he gestures to this chair that's been placed on top of an old orange crate. And he gets right to work. Shining shoes. All right, Miss O'Malley, what can I do for you today?
Well, Sean, you know about some of my friends, the ones.
Oh, yeah, I know all sorts of your friends. What kind of friends are we talking about here?
The ones that help make
Kind of
me
looks up at
butterflies.
you
If you know what
And-
I'm talking about.
You know, Robbie's people.
No. But yes. I'm talking about the ones that deal with opium. You know.
Oh, those friends. Right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm terribly sorry about your loss, by the way, ma'am. I heard about it. Pretty tragic.
Thank you,
And
Ted.
Gino pulls a shilling out of his pocket and slides it down towards his knee, but he's got two strong fingers on the shilling. Like, when you're done, this could be yours. Instead of a couple of pence, it's a whole shilling.
Yeah, he's putting some good effort into the shoe shining now. He was kind of just doing it and talking, and now he's like getting in the crevices.
Yeah, and it's more for the information that I'm paying for than the shoe shine. But
what you want to know? Do you want to get in? Which den are we talking about?
We're looking
One on
for
South
Mr.
Market?
We're looking for Mr. Oh, bugger me! I forgot his name already. She kind of looks up at Juno. Do you remember the detective's name? I was remembering.
Through. Fergus through.
What the pigeons are saying.
Yes, something just suddenly rang in my head. I was thinking about my poor Thomas. Anyways, Fergus, Mr. Fergus. Scottish?
Oh, the detective one, Mr. Fergus McDrew.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen him around somewhere.
Yeah, he passed by not too long ago, going down to the Cat's Meow.
Cat's Meow.
That's one of the opium dens down here.
Oh yeah, like is it one of my suppliers though?
Because
I hold things in my upper class area for people.
Give me a streetwise check. See if it is in your area.
If it is with my repertoire. Let's
see. You can have a +1 to this too, because you are a store owner.
Apparently I might. 18.
Yeah, you do. The Cat's Meow is one of your suppliers. You've moved goods for them before. They've helped you out in the past. You know the owner's name is Colette.
Colette. This name I actually won't forget, because I know her.
Yes.
Yeah, she nods. She nods. Okay. Thank you so much.
Anything else you need to know?
Any rumors perhaps on the streets?
There's always rumors. You gotta narrow it down a bit more than that, miss. Unless you want me to just start spouting some.
Robbie's gone missing. Do you know what the American might be keeping him?
I'm not sure where they've been keeping him. Now, probably the headquarters, if I guess. But I know someone who might.
If you would get me a name and perhaps
Lou.
Lou.
Yeah, you gotta talk to Lou. They know all the ins and outs of that things.
And where might we find this Lou?
Oh, Lou, you can find him in Cardboard Town. You know, Cardboard Town is a dingy alley that's pretty much filled with homeless people. They've the police do not go down there. They've kind of made their own little section of the city.
So it's so dingy and smarmy that not even the police bother going anymore.
The police don't even bother, and typically if a crime does go on, they're just gonna let it slide. They're like, oh no, in the cardboard oh no. It's about 6 interconnected alleyways in part of the slums of the city, and it is. You can usually smell it before you can see it.
Ooh, that's a good description.
Yeah, but Lou, if you're trying to get into some place or get out of some place or get someone out of some place, you talk to Lou. Lou will handle it. Goes by Lockpick Lou.
Lockpick Lou. Right. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you so much.
Very helpful. Other rumors. I think I saw Miss Cook's daughter not too long ago.
Oh, Red.
Gino leans in.
She didn't look too happy though. She was walking with a couple of gents.
What type of gents? Do they look like the Yankee type, or they,
They looked a bit Yankee.
Oh dear. Sorry, Gino. No offense.
None taken. I'm Italian.
Yeah, she nods. Okay. And where did you last see them?
Early this morning, late last night. I set it up my shop.
Where were they heading?
Kind of gestures down a street. Looks, it's kind of headed westward. There's a
So-
lot in that direction.
So he's Gino's like, so
I didn't hear anything they were saying. They weren't really doing much talking.
he spins the shilling in his hand and two fingers to him, and he's like, there's another one of those for you if you find out where Red went.
I'll keep my ears out, sir. Thank you. Yeah, shoes are done. And they look good.
Nice.
All right then. So Sean, I will be seeing you this Sunday before church. Yes. We'll get you
Yes,
some
of
nice
course, Mum.
breakfast.
Oh, that
She
would be
gives him like
lovely,
a little
Mum.
head ruffle.
Thank you, Mum. Well, good luck.
Thank you, Sean.
Shoe shining, come get your shoes shined, dear.
I love him.
You guys are so cute. You make it hard to stay in character.
No, too cute. Okay.
So,
All right. She kinda
we're
looks
going
over
to
at Gino.
We're going to find the guy, or we're going to find Red.
Perhaps we should bring this information to Mrs. Cook first before we go to the den. I do have things to speak with Colette. Now that my husband has passed, and what to do with the business.
All right. So, back to the skeleton key.
That should be good. At least let them know before we make any more decisions. As we're just kind of walking back. By the way, Gino,
Mhm.
I know about you and Callum. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. I mean, that's very kind of you. I appreciate it. And he's like, you could tell he gets verklempt, but he,
Yeah.
holds it
I'm
in.
not-
So
I'm not as good of a cook as Mrs. Cook, although she actually has the word in her name. But if you would like, you could join me and some of the little mice I have over for breakfast on Sundays. It's nice to have a full belly before going to the house of God.
okay, so that sounds great. What time?
We like to breakfast around 8 and go for church for 9.
All right. And you can tell the church, every time you say church, there's like a little flinch. Like he's not welcome in a house of God kind of deal. But he agrees to it.
Do you attend Father Seamus's church, Miss O'Malley?
Yes, I do. Father Seamus
right.
is like my man, he's awesome.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, she walks with him in very companionable, both mournful silence.
And
Yeah.
he'll gentlemanly enough put his arm out if you want to take an arm, and that like half covers him with the umbrella, but it's like now the umbrella is
It's
pouring
just
the water
pouring all
in a
one
straight,
side. Yeah.
straight stream.
I'm
on his
trying.
hand. But
Just
he
trying
doesn't.
to
He doesn't flinch at all about it. He just lets it go.
All right. So, were Edith and Vicky getting up to anything while Letty and Gino were out at the pub?
I am probably halfway down a bottle of gin.
Yeah.
Still going.
Can you give me a vitality check, please?
Sure.
Just to see how you're feeling with all that gin.
This is a 13.
You're doing all right. You're doing
I'm
okay.
a little person.
No alcohol poisoning you. You're good.
My husband
Yeah.
just died. I'm allowed to drink.
You're allowed to drink. Yes. No one's stopping you. And Miss Cook, were you up to anything? You just...
I'd be going around serving everyone, making sure everyone was
Mhm.
plenty food, plenty of alcohol, listening to the stories, trying to get something coherent out of Vicky to make sure that they're not too far gone.
Vicky seems
checking
to
on
be
people.
holding in all right. He seems to be doing okay.
Yeah.
It's mainly just muttering threats towards Americans, crying, and vaguely too much sharing about Harry. There's some muttered things in there that you never needed to know about a man.
I sent a short prayer to God for my ears.
Father Seamus kind of on his second pint. It's like, I'm in. No, that's when Gino and Letty walk back into the pub.
Is Gino sopping wet?
Sopping wet.
I just give him a look
sopping wet.
from like his head to his toes, the fact that he's dripping all over my floor. And I just turn away.
Mrs. Cook, we have some information for you that you might find useful.
Come in kitchen.
Alright.
Behave, you lot.
She kind of looks over at Gino. Did you want to perhaps dry off and get something warm down you? You probably need some spirits. Keep yourself warm.
You're muted.
I got your tongue, Gino.
He says, he's like, yeah, not a bad idea. I didn't finish my soup. And then he heads back over where the bowl was. And if it's still there, he's gonna eat cold soup, but...
There may be slightly less than there was before.
She brings you out a fresh one with the very much look of, you better finish it this time.
Alright.
Ooh.
Don't you walk away from my food.
And then he's like, he drinks half of it, what he can, until it's too chunky to drink, and then he'll start spooning.
All right.
And he will finish it.
I'm heading to the back.
So will Edith.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll
It's very warm.
steer Vicky as well, just for the sake of it.
Kitchens.
I just
Make
go
it-
where I'm put. It's just like, so
Yeah,
long
I'll
as
just
the
let you
bottle of
make
gin
it past
comes
the
with me,
love. Come on.
so long as I'm like clutching the bottle of gin, just like, yeah, okay. I'll just go with.
Oh, poor Vicky.
He's a sad boy.
I'm so sorry. My heart goes out to him, man. I'm just like, oh. So, Mrs. Cook, Vicky, and she kind of, if like Gino's not there, she'll just like, if he is, nod over. I know where our detective is, or at least a general gist.
Alright.
He
Go on.
should be frequenting the Cat's Meow at the moment. They're one of my associates, providers, however you wish to call it. I know the owner, her name is Colette. We're friends, in a way. Professional, of course.
Yeah, I know Colette.
She knows.
I know all about professional friends.
Yeah, I kind of like blush and giggle a bit at that. It's like, you don't have to be a proper
Yes.
lady, but...
Vicky, you would know Colette has a lot of professional friends, as the Cat's Meow is a bit more than just an opium den.
Yeah, there's a lot of smirking happening now.
Yeah, like Letty's just like giggling and like kind of blushing because she's like, oh my goodness.
I give it a look to O'Malley like, get a grip. You're in Lower London, love. What are you blushing like a maiden for? You're acting like you weren't a married woman.
That's behind closed court, Mrs. Cook.
Sometimes.
It wasn't all the time, Vicky. That was once. She kind of like blushes again and is like, so, there's also word about Red.
Red.
Yes,
Couple of
Sean, yeah, she kind of looks over at Gino. If you remember.
couple of Mickey's mooks took her, walked down, went west. We figured we'd tell you before we went after.
There's also another person of interest.
Oh, bastards, you hear me? I don't care about this detective for going after my daughter. Or I'm going on my own, I don't care. Although you're coming with me. And she just points at Gino.
And he's already nodding.
There's one
It
last
involves
one.
Yankee bloods, I'm in.
Speaking of
Sober
the
up a bit
Yankees,
more, Bo, and then we'll think about it. Jeez. little smile.
In Cardboard Town, there's a lockpicker Lou, who might actually know where Robbie is being kept as well, if you want to strike another blow to them.
Yeah, I do. I want to strike all the blows I can, while I'm still on this godforsaken earth. So, I'm sorry, but I've got to prioritise what's left of my family. I'm probably going to go and try and find Red first.
Sounds good. I'm with you.
Maybe swing by this Lou person. If he's keeping Robbie somewhere, who knows, he might be taking my daughter to the same hellhole.
All right.
What are the rest of you wanting to do?
Not much one for making decisions. That's why I had Harry. I'm with you.
Bless you, love. Bless you.
Not really a planner, but
I know.
I got skills, and they're yours.
She pats your
As long
cheek.
as I can get some revenge, I'm happy. As happy as
Revenge
I
and
can be.
alcohol, love. Both on
Damn.
ours.
Gino is rock solid, but Greybeard's gonna cry. Damn, that was hardboard. It was just
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
He's a very sad boy.
Mm.
What about you, Letty? Hmm? I know
I
you don't
should
like to
be
get dragged in
taking-
these things.
I know I don't. I mostly turn a blind eye for a lot of Thomas's things, other than helping him with his side of the business. I do wish to help you find Red, but I'm also considering going to speaking with Colette and perhaps speaking with a detective. There's one thing to kill a couple of the Americans, and another is to keep them under lock and key for good, or perhaps give them a good hanging.
Or perhaps fish in a barrel.
Indeed. But she kind of just thinks
Well,
about it.
If you feel safe going to
thinking?
Cat's Paw.
What are
Go
you
on.
thinking of going first? Are you planning to just follow the lead and speak to Lou, or perhaps retracing the steps that Sean saw yesterday? Well, this morning.
Probably go and speak to Lou first, swing back Cardboard Town, give the waifs and strays there a good meal, see what they say. I might be grieving, but I'm not a total idiot.
I know a couple of the little ones down there. We eat together and I feed them. If you give them my name, they might help them warm up to you a bit.
Alright, love. I'll see where that gets us. Are you alright going
She
to that
nods.
opium den on your own?
I've done this plenty of times. It's just to perhaps speak to this. Oh dear, I've forgotten his name again. I'm sure he'll come back to me. She kind of just looks very.
Really?
She. The thing is, I have it on notes. She just can't remember his name.
Oh, bless her. I love her.
Fergus. Scottish bloke. Mardy bastard.
Not as naughty as my Thomas was, I promise you. She kind of laughs a bit. But I might have to speak with him real quick. I will see about meeting up with you afterwards. Perhaps we'll meet back here.
While you're over there, love, get me some spice. And she flicks over 3 shillings.
I do procure these, I suppose. This would not be. She kind of looks a bit uncomfortable. Very well, of course, Mrs. Cook.
Good lass. Alright then, you sorry lot. We off.
And then when we hit the street, Gino will offer to carry your umbrella.
Is it still raining?
Aw.
Oh yeah, it's still raining.
Yeah.
The rain has lightened up a bit though.
English weather, always wet.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah, she'll
very.
take
It was
Of
windy
course it's
today. We have range.
Of course it's
Wind
raining. The
and
sky is
rain.
crying because there was a funeral.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
funeral
yeah.
weather. Everyone knows it rains at
It's-
funerals.
Yeah, rains and funerals.
Every time.
Pathetic fallacy.
Yeah. was just trying to think of that phrase. I was like, I know this. It's the one thing I remember from GCSE English. What is it?
There we go.
All
I'll
right,
bring
so,
some leftovers, some like little snacks and stuff
some
like
sad
that.
soup leftovers.
Sad soup leftovers, and probably like some sandwiches, some like jacket potatoes, whatever's going.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
like dig through my weird backpack and show Mrs. Cook the pound of apples I have. 'Cause
I
have a
did see
pound
that.
of
That made me giggle a little bit.
I'll pick up a few, inspect them. They'll probably make a good pie, to be honest.
I have some candies for the little ones if you're going to go meet with them. If you see any.
Sure.
These are the ones I make myself. I do a lot of oiling with hats and whatnot, so I take some time on the side to make candies for them.
Aren't you just an angel?
Not at all.
Lucifer was
My
an
mother
angel
would
too,
think
you know.
differently. Yes, that is true.
And Gino actually
Very
smirks at that.
biblical.
Uh-huh.
I am a good Catholic boy. To some
Yeah,
people.
you see
Certainly
Father
not.
Seamus finish his last and third pint, and he kind of passes you all. He goes, well, if y'all were saving Robbie and Red, yeah, you'd be Robbie's angels. And he kind of, good day, come back to the chapel if you need me.
That is a very good name. There's some charm to it. A good ring.
That's made me so giddy, I apologize.
Right.
Yeah, and
So with
As we-
Edith, Vicky, and Gino going to Cardboard Town, and Letty going to the Cat's Meow.
and as Gino's holding my umbrella, I don't say thank you, but I give him the most fraction of nods.
Like a
Vicky is
So
just
he,
getting
like-
wet and shivering
So
violently.
he offered the arm, but then he's very uncomfortably holding the umbrella like directly above Edith, like so
Why aren't
she
you
is
your arm
completely
full?
covered.
Why are you bending over like that? Hey? Use your other arm.
Keeping you dry.
I know you're keeping me dry, but you're also being an awkward bugger about it. Put your other hand.
All right, he puts it in his other hand, and he, instead of holding his arm like this to carry it, for your arm to be on, he'll put it straight so that you can do the kind of lay across. If you'll take his arm at all.
I take Vicky's instead
Okay.
to
All right.
guide them in.
Just like tiny little consumptive waif just shivering.
It's a small off between me and Vicky.
Well, and again, Gino is wide but short, so
Oh yeah,
Fine.
Vicky's like skinny as a whippet, but he's also like 5'9", 5'10".
oh jeez.
Oh, you tower over us both.
The umbrella.
like
I
a
have to hold the umbrella like yay. All
Beanpole.
right.
Yeah.
I'm just letting Mrs. Cook lead me. Just
I think you've muted again. Yeah.
I figured it out. It took me a
There we
second, but I got there. So, Gino, Edith, and Vicky. It's not hard to know where Cardboard Town is because a lot of people avoid it. It's near one of the old kind of warehouses, near one of the kind of small factory districts that used to be there, but in the old where all the little shops and houses used to be, all in the back alleys, because people still live in those homes and sometimes run. Some of the businesses are closed down. You think there's probably maybe connected to Cardboard Town through the back door, but no one goes to check. No one goes to look. If you'd like, I can give you guys can roll probably streetwise to see if you know anything, if you've heard of this Lou. It's going to be a harder check as Lou stays pretty low to the ground.
21.
For 21, you've heard about Lockpick Lou. You've heard Lou has been referred to as the greatest escape artist of their time. You also hear that they rule Cardboard Town, that they're in charge of the place, potentially. Just rumors. And that you've heard Lou is also batshit insane.
Mhm.
So those are the three things you've heard about Lockpick Lou.
Mrs. Cook,
Yeah, Vic.
just as we're heading in here, I think it's important that you know exactly who we're looking for, specifically, because it's not going to be easy talking to them, from what I hear.
Why, the Chinese?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't speak Chinese. But Lockpick Lou has kind of a rep for being a bit regal in the, looking after people department. It's a bit of a feudal system down in the slums. I mean, they're really good with locks, as much as anyone is, but, sort of amazing in a way. Oh, and they belong in Bedlam. Completely cuckoo.
Oh, insane membrane, as they say, yeah. All right.
Yeah, just should have been in a lock jacket a long time ago.
She just
You've tried, but every time they just get out again.
What do I have in my inventory that might help with this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's the inventory.
You've heard the parts of the police have just partially given up trying to arrest Lou because it doesn't work.
That's
for
fair.
very long.
Well, probably don't look him straight in the eye, treat him like a feral dog, feed him. Should be fine.
All
Put him
right.
down if we have to.
Thing about feral dogs, Gino, they lead packs. Not a good plan. Rookery's hard to get out of. It's just make nice.
I'm getting what you're laying down, but Gino isn't. He's on a mission at this point, and so he's like just sort of stone faced, but maybe he'll shrug if you keep at it.
Sweetheart, maybe let the natives do the talking first.
Right?
Just don't punch anyone until we tell you to. All right, Gino. Got it?
I'm good at that part.
I know you are. You've got your uses.
And as you keep walking down, you get a whiff of Cardboard Town. You can smell it before you can see it, even through the respirators you guys are wearing. It smells dirty. It smells... There's a wide variety of smells here, but filth is one of them. You went to see more people kind of just sitting in the streets, in the alleyways. You see groups congregated, and you can start to see boxes and crates stacked up in the alleys, almost like that of a bazaar. And a bit of chatting going on. You hear hushed tones and conversations.
Can we make out anything of this distance? What was
Can we eavesdrop on anything?
Checks. Yeah, give me wit checks. See if you can.
Can we do a little listen?
Oops. You know.
Hey.
Okay, no.
All right. 5. No, you don't hear anything. 15 and 13. You can hear some conversations. Gino, you overhear what's definitely a plan, like a drug deal going down. You definitely hear that. Miss Cook, you overhear some conversations about... It's very hushed, but you're able to make it out. There's 2 people. One's a really old man with a scraggly beard, and it looks like he's missing a leg. You're not really sure. And the other one appears to be a kid, a real young girl, very matted hair, dirty dress, and they're talking about staking out someplace trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes.
Okay. Do I get any mention of what place at all?
Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to stake out a jewelry shop.
Okay. All right. In the is there
not too
any
far
jewelry
from
shops? I was going to say, are there any jewelry shops in the Lower District?
There is. Costume jewelry is a big thing. It might not be super valuable, but everyone still wants to look nice. People still need to buy wedding rings and that kind of thing. So there are jewelry shops. They're just not fancy. So
Okay. All right. Vicky, you know this place a little bit better, right?
A little bit. I mean, Harry's had me off the streets for a few years now. Haven't been down here in a while, but
It's never too late
Better
to
than
come out of
most.
retirement if you're lucky enough to get one.
yeah. Most
If you're not
folks
comfortable,
retire
I'll
when they're
lead on.
dead. No.
I'll
Let's go.
approach. I'll approach the young girl and the old man who's talking a bit.
yeah, they kind of hush up as they see you. Well, actually, he's still talking. He doesn't seem to see you. I think his eyes may not be the greatest. He looks maybe he's blind and missing a leg, and looks like maybe he's got some kind of disease. But the girl, she's like, hush up. Too. And
Right there,
as
love.
she sees you approaching, oh yeah, it's just a cold. What do you
Oh,
want?
bless you. Oh, we're looking for Lou. Is he about?
You want an audience, do you? What do you want with Lou?
Appears you know some interesting bits and pieces, that's all.
You see, she
And she
gives
kinda-
you a very serious look. And
Bends over, looks her over.
What did
Dear,
you
how
say?
lovely you are.
He says, "What? Speak with Flu." Pardon. He wants to speak with Lou. Oh dear. I'm out of this. And he hopples down into the maze of cardboard boxes and crates. Right then, you said you want information from Lou. Is that right?
Maybe.
My name's Cora, and I'm one of Lou's secretaries. You want us
Cora.
to have an audience
Mm-hmm.
with the Highness?
His Highness.
With the
Gotta
Highness,
respect
yes.
it, right? Yeah, alright, I can do that. That's fine. I've got snacks. We can have a bit
There's
of
got to
game.
be something in it for us too.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
just
food.
giving out stuff for free. Food?
Yeah, there's food. Yeah, and she she brings out one of her nicer bits of food and kind of wafts it. Yeah, that's skeleton key, my love.
Yeah, I know the place.
Cool.
Always smells good.
Thank you very much. Listen, I ain't bothered about what you young rapscallions are getting up to. I just want to know how to get revenge.
Against who?
Those bloody American bastards, that's who.
Goddamn Yankees.
See. Well, she kind of looks at Gino. What's his problem? He mute? He don't talk?
Not much. No.
Oh, you do talk. You're a Yank.
Yeah. Who hates Yanks?
But a tame one.
Right. Right, well,
He gives you the side eye, but it's a accepting side eye.
alright. How much food you got? How many people can you feed?
Quite a few.
Elder Tony. How much time you get with their majesty?
Will you now, little lass?
You see, like, there's a very threadbare little shawl, and she just adjusts
Oh.
it very, very self-importantly.
How about this? Alright? There's only so much I can carry. You know, I'm 57 years old, love.
Yeah, you look
However-
it.
And she gives her a wink. Damn right I do. I earned these years. You'll earn yours too. Now,
Maybe.
if you let us see Lou, I'll let you maybe a couple of your friends, not too many. I'm not made of money. I'll let you come and sit in pub for a little bit and have some tea on me, all right?
Give me a charm check. But I'll give you a +2
Very
because
nice.
food is involved.
I might have to use a reroll already. I'm using a reroll.
Okay.
Yep.
Much
Okay.
better. Hey, rerolls. Alright, she goes, alright then. Come with me, I'll put you in the waiting room. Don't let any of these chaps bother you.
Don't you worry, lass. I got him. Come on, you lot.
Gino is watching for pickpockets and anybody
Give me a
getting
wit
too
check.
close.
Give me
Oh my
a-
goodness, can I attempt to pickpocket Gino because I've noticed him looking?
Yes, you can. Give me a pickpocket check.
Yes.
If you pick his pocket first, he's less likely to get pickpocketed. Doesn't notice you pick his pocket. You look around for pickpockets, you haven't seen any yet, but you do, after a minute, realize your wallet's not on you.
Son of a little
And I just wiggle it in front of his face.
snatch. Puts it back in his coat.
Just a bit.
Pawsy, are ya? Yeah.
Don't got a lot of it.
Watch for the other ones.
Yeah,
No
as you
one's
guys
as good
walk
as me.
into Cardboard Town, there are so many cardboard boxes and crates and mismatched furniture. Kind of small houses are made out of this stuff. There appears to be vendors, very sad vendors. You see a table that's, you think, has weapons on it, but an old rug is rolled over it real fast as you guys start walking down. And Cora seems to be pretty known, as she's like, "Excuse me, pardon me, get out of the way. Scoot, get out of here. We've got guests. Act civil." And she kind of leads you guys down. And you kind of come out, there's an old fountain in like a small square. There's a fountain. It's got a statue of it looks to be maybe like it was a saint at one point, or maybe the queen. It's hard to tell. Some of the facial features have kind of been marred by time and just wear. But there is a fake crown placed upon its head, and there are a few benches set out, and there's actually a little like almost parlor-esque setup here. And Cora says, "Alright, if you all wait here, I'll go get Lou." Remember,
Cheers, boss.
and
Gino
she
will
kind of
stand.
skips off.
Gino will stand behind like Edith and Vicky, like if they sit down and just hold the umbrella above them.
Excellent. There's actually some overhangs here. So the parlor area is pretty covered. There's like a big piece of sheet metal that's kind of been propped up, and it's got like a couple doilies hanging off like trim around the edges. Looks like this place was done up a little nice comparative to the rest of the place. And we're going to hop over to Letty in just a second, but this tea went right through me, so I'm going to BRB. Y'all just talk amongst yourselves in the waiting room for a minute.
Woohoo.
So basically, a hitman, the grieving mother, and Vicky, who's what 3/4 of a bottle in of gin, are now left to talk to themselves. Okay, this is going to be quite the conversation.
Vicky's just looking around with a kind of like pouty, sad face, just kind of like looking at all the cardboard boxes. Because
Vicky, love.
this is where.
Do us
Yeah,
a favour.
yeah.
Help me set out this food, love. Bending down's a bit more difficult than it used to be. And
I
for the
got
love
you
of God,
covered there.
get under a shelter.
And I will
Yeah.
start helping lay out food.
Yeah.
And I will like put the whole like bag of apples just down next to it. It's like a pound of apples, and he's just kind of like, I got no real use for him.
Where'd
Don't
you
really
get them
like
anyway?
apples.
Apples are like really hard to come by.
I talked to one of the other, one of Robbie's lot. They were a present. Harry liked apples, so it's a
Yeah,
thing.
you can still like them up in heaven. Don't we worry, love.
I don't got used to these down here, though, do I?
Aye. And so kind of give a look over to Gino. How awkward is he being right now?
Very stone-faced and just doesn't seem to know what to do with himself. Like, he's not gonna sit down, that's for sure. And so he's kind of in like bodyguard mode, but he's not that big of a person. So.
All right. Should probably have a little staring match with Gino just to see who breaks first.
Oh, he will because he loved your son, and as far as he knows, you don't know that. So yeah, he cracks pretty quick on that, and then he looks really he looks away, but he looks extra mean, like he doesn't know what to do. It's just totally foreign to him.
Vicky just keeps putting out food and crying into the bushel of apples.
Okay. Poor Vicky.
Good, washing him. Good job.
Yeah, you washing the apples. Fresh salt water. Sterile, it's fine. We're going to go over to Letty, who has been walking to the cat's meow. You have your own umbrella. It's even staying fairly dry. And before you know it, you are at the place you know as the cat's meow. You see, it's a decently nice establishment for down here. There are curtains in the windows, some fake gold paint around the window trim, and a very nice sign that says "Cat's Meow."
Is there a particular way you have to knock to get in, or like is that a code that you know about?
It's more like there's a list.
Oh.
So you walk in. If you walk in, there's a young man at the there's like a little front. It's like almost like the lobby area of a hotel. This used to be an old theater.
Fancy.
Like a small theater. And so it's kind of like the box office area. If you walk inside, there's a small box office, and there's a young man who sits there, and he goes, "Oh, Miss O'Malley, it's nice seeing you. I'll let Colette know you're in."
Thank you.
Sure thing. Just feel free to go in if you like.
Yeah, she'll kind of dry her like
Table number
feet
3
as
is
best-
open. If you like.
Thank you very much. And then she'll just go in and go to table number 3 and have a seat. And,
Yeah.
pat herself dry a bit.
There is a nice vibe to this establishment, though the entire establishment is kind of hazy. The air itself is hazy. There's the smell of incense burning. It's very dark. It's candlelit here to keep that romantic flair going, as Colette likes to call it. And you're only there a couple minutes before you see, dressed in a slinky red dress with a little fur shawl, Colette.
Ooh.
Letty, darling, it is a pleasure to see you. It's been so long. Why do you not come visit me more often?
I've been a bit preoccupied with arranging my husband's funeral recently. Sorry, Colette.
I am so sorry. I have not heard. Oh, this is terrible. Here, let me get you something to drink. What would you like?
Some spirits will be nice. It's rather chilly today.
All right, I'll get you some gin. And she kind of whispers to somebody, and moments later, a nice glass of gin is brought for you.
Yeah, she smiles at her, and you look as stunning as always.
Merci. It's lovely to see you. It's been so long. But what can I help you with today?
Well, it's a little bit of personal
Oh.
and a little bit of a professional I suppose.
So soon after your... I mean, everyone moves
No,
on in their
not
own
that
way.
not that sort of personal. She like blushes a bit. Oh dear. No, that's a bit soon.
I thought it was a bit, but you know you are a remarkable woman, so Mary.
Thank you. Well, the personal business is I'm looking for a Mr. Fergus, Scottish bloke.
Ah, yes, he is here quite often. He's here now. You wish to speak with him?
Yes, he may be able to help me with something I would like to do. And the second one was more of a, well, of course, as...
Personal matter? But not... You do not wish to be with one of my people, I see. No?
No, it's more of a,
They're very
about our
pretty.
continued... It's more about our continued, partnership when it comes to procurement and acquisition
Nothing,
of,
no problems have come up, have there?
Oh no, not at all. Well, first of all, I do have someone I'm buying some for. She hands you some like some of the money that Mrs. Cook has given her. That's the first thing. The second thing, of course, despite Liam passing on, I would like to continue our business. It has been a pleasure working with you, and I look forward to more. The second thing is, would you happen to know some places where they might have some more of the more potent types? You know how a poison is a woman's weapon.
Ah, it is very true, and we are very familiar with it here. I am sure I can procure something. You say something specific you have in mind? You just want death, paralyzation. There are many things. I could even get you the fruit, you know. Make your memories go away. It's highly illegal, but I have my sources.
All would be useful. Do you know how the Americans aren't very good for business?
They're terrible. They never want to pay full price. They always wish they're like, oh, but mademoiselle, we can get you're here so often. You could get discounts. And my girls do not work for discount. Neither do my boys. Full price.
You know, it's like, of course. And unfortunately,
yeah,
they've actually
every pet.
killed my husband and a lot of Robbie's gang.
No, Monsieur Carr.
We're not sure what he is. We think the Americans are holding him. As you can tell, there's a particular... I believe the word is purpose for this, what I wish to procure from you.
Tragic. Alright, I will see what I can do. I will check my stores to see what the poisons I have. Meanwhile, if you wish to speak with Le Detective, he is booth number 8. He has not ordered company yet, so I'm sure he will not be distracted.
Alright, that's good. I was hoping not to see... That's good, thank you.
Oh, no, you caught him early enough.
I just kind of look very, very relieved. Still, I will catch you later then, Colette. Perhaps we could speak about your
before you
collection
leave, I will check my stores.
Thank you so much.
See what I
If
have.
that's the case, I will go and meet with this detective.
Alright, I will see you in a bit.
Yeah, she'll
You know you'll go around.
Basically, she'll like very primly and properly walk through the halls, you know, looking around.
Yeah, a lot of these
them.
places are kind of like curtained off little booths. There is a stage with some audience, like all the little chairs have been pulled out. It's more like it's like an Eden theater. There's tables and chairs at the stage. There is currently a performer on stage. Looks to become some kind of a burlesque show. And but there are some little booths on the side, which is where you just came out of from.
Yeah, I'll secretively appreciate the dancing, but must remain proper. Must keep proper decorum, and we'll go and look for a detective. Is he currently just smoking, or?
So you see the detective. They've got the curtains are mostly covered, but there's a little crack. They haven't drawn all the way, and you see a very large Scottish man, as broad as he is tall. Red hair with streaks of gray, a beard. He's got an opium pipe on the table, but he's also got his cigar out. And it's just kind of like the curtains parted so we can see the show, but you can tell he's not watching it. He's just kind of staring. Doesn't seem to have noticed you.
Mr. Fergus? I just kind of call from behind him.
Mm-hmm. Hasn't quite noticed you yet.
I'll just kind of walk closer, then like kind of like sit right in front of him. Mr. Fergus?
Oh! I haven't ordered anything yet. You the waitress?
She kind of
You're
looks
new.
she looks down and looks back up at him. I don't believe I'm well endowed enough to be one of Miss Colette's ladies, unfortunately.
It's not all about the top, sometimes it's about the bottom.
I can certainly agree, sir.
Don't put yourself down, lass. You're quite a pretty picture.
I'm a pretty sad picture right now, sir. I'm Mrs. O'Malley. I'm not sure if you've heard of me.
Nope.
I was the wife of one of...
I may
She
be a
kinda
muck
thinks-
through, but I haven't heard of every O'Malley in the city.
No, but you would have heard of Robbie's boys, wouldn't you?
Aye, some of them. Who wants to know?
The wife of one of them that got shot by the Americans.
By the Americans, you say? Aye,
There was a gang war recently, sir. Have you heard of it?
I haven't been on the street much past few days.
And thank God you haven't. Unfortunately, my husband was one of them on the streets, and he was one of the many of the English blood that got spilled there.
Alright. So what have you come to me for?
Well, if you had to ever pick sides, would you prefer... What was his name? Mickey? She says the name with like pure disdain. Or
He spits.
Robbie.
I mean, they're both criminals and I'm a lawman, but the Americans are a pain in my arse.
So I've heard. Unfortunately, said Americans have got Robbie, and without Robbie, well, Lower London is
No
theirs.
city goes to shite.
Indeed.
Alright,
I was wondering what we could
what do you want me to do
if you
about
could
it?
help us. What can we do to get him put behind bars? Or do anything to get him in trouble? Is there anything a lawman can do? Or step in? Or even find a way to get the police to help? Do their jobs for once?
Well, we know they commit murders. We know they do drugs. We know they sell things. Hard is getting the hard evidence for it. Implicating them in something that actually get those bloody fools off their arses and get to work.
And what might that be?
Evidence, paperwork maybe. We can find some of their books. Although every time
Right.
we've checked, they've been doctored or removed. Can't get to them quick enough because you have to come in with a warrant. You can't just... It's very frustrating being a police officer sometimes.
Alright, so if we were to procure these documents for you, Mr. Fergus, you could do something about the Americans.
I'm a lot more likely to. Aye. Also, if they, I don't know, we could implicate them in something bigger. Whether they actually are involved or not's a different story, but if they could be implicated on paper.
And what would look good on paper?
Ugh. There's a murder spree that's been going around Whitechapel.
Yes, I've heard that people have likened it to the Rippers.
A nasty business. Glad you didn't see the bodies. It's a right mess. It was.
So I can see where you're going with this. That's an interesting take on it.
Now, I'm a detective. I'm real good at investigating things. Procuring things. Do you have any leads for me? I could be persuaded to do other things with my night than be here. If it involves bringing down those bloody Americans.
Well, finding you was one of our first steps. A couple of fellow acquaintances and friends I know are actually headed to Cardboard Town to speak with Lockpicker Lou, who would actually know where Robbie is being kept.
Aye.
And
Lou's crazy
earlier
enough they might
today-
know. But, I'll do some investigating of my own.
Alright.
I know a few of their hideabouts.
If you would have some information, it'd be greatly appreciated. We are mostly, she kind of thinks about, situated at Skeleton's Key. I'm not sure if you heard about it.
I know about it. Good food.
Yes, Mrs. Cook is quite wonderful at it.
Alright. If you want to know where Mr. Carr is, you want to know everything you can. Any paperwork you find, you collect it, and you bring it to me. Alright, Red?
Right.
Nice hair, by the way. Good colour.
Thank you.
Reminds me of, my late wife.
This reminds me of my late husband. She smiles a bit, sadly. Looks like we have more in common than you think. Now, we also, this might be interesting to you, Mr. Fergus, if I may call you
Aye.
that.
Oh, please,
He's,
Fergus. Fergus is fine.
Fergus. One of the little ones on the street, he told me, because she kind of gives him like general direction. Heading west was a couple of Yankee gentlemen, with one of the girls involved with the English gang. She was
They're getting
being forced
girls
somewhere.
involved. You see his face goes from like, alright, yeah, to like instantly, like, they're messing with girls.
Thank you, Poppy. You're so
Aye, they
useful.
like to do that, don't they?
Yes,
That's
I'm
my daughter.
quite worried about her.
Alright, yeah. Headed west, you say. Where from? What direction? Which street corner?
She gives him like the general direction of like close to where Sean's little shop is set and like where they're heading.
Restaurant name next door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright, headed west from there. They've got a few warehouses. All down that way, west, I think. I'll
Warehouses.
see. He kind of puts out his cigar. I think I'll see what I can do about that immediately.
Yes, if you do find anything though, please let Mrs. Cook know first. It's her daughter. She's been missing and, well,
Right. How long's she been missing for?
ever since the gang war, so only a couple of days.
Days. All right. She'll still be all right then. I'll keep my eyes out. He kind of just looks at like the things he's ordered and goes, "Well, what was your name?"
Ah, yes, my name is Letty. Letty O'Malley.
Betty O'Malley. Pretty name. All right. Well,
Thank you.
Miss O'Malley, I'll get on this right away, and I'll report what I know when I find out at the Skeleton Key.
Thank you very much. And of course, I will do my best to, of course, compensate you. I do own my own business, and I can
Very important.
give...
Right.
Yeah, she hands over, like, one of her little business cards. You know, Letty O'Malley, hatter, stylist.
Now, of course, you just can't be speaking about any of this to the police. You know, they're not particularly fond of me getting into the gang business, but I'm willing to overlook it for this special event.
Thank you. She gives him, like, a very grateful, like, nod, and then we'll, like...
Now, if you're ready to make a move, let me know. I might see if I can clear them from the area.
Yeah, she'll, like... She nods. Yes, of course. I'll make sure to remember that. And she'll kind of, like, stand up, kind of pat her, her skirts off and give him a little, like, hold out her hand, you know, give his hand a little squeeze, like, it's been a pleasure meeting you. I will look forward to seeing you soon.
Right. Likewise. Right. He kind of finishes his drink. So he's just having a pint. Just kind of downs it. Right then. And he brushes himself off and heads off.
Yep. Quickly, very quickly making my way back to Colette. Like, Letty is a lady who wants to get things done. Yeah, so she kind of like, she briskly walks back for Colette
Mm-hmm.
and waits.
Now you have to wait a few minutes for Colette. It's gonna take her a minute to kind of, she deals with a lot of interesting things.
Yes. Yeah, so she waits quite patiently. Occasionally, she actually kind of just sits very blank with her eyes like just kind of distant, kind of still in shock over all this, and kind of like going in shock in a way. But she occasionally was like just very blankly sitting there, slowly realizing the realization that her husband's forever gone. Oh. And then checks her watch.
Okay, yeah. So it's not terribly long before you're able to find the Colette approaches you again. And she says, sorry to keep you waiting, but there was so much to look through. I have some of the she'll kind of slide across a bar of opium.
Oh yes, thank you. That's for my friend. And she'll
Yes, of
pocket that,
course.
squirrel it away,
Your
kind of like put it
friends
between her
anymore, you
business.
know who to come to.
Of course. She nods. You do have some of the best goods, if not the best.
I do. I know. There. If your friend is curious about the dosage, and she'll tell you how to take it, you're pretty sure she's not convinced at all that it's for your friend.
Yeah, Letty just like looks very awkward the entire time. Just like, I know I don't need this. I mean, I know how to take this, but I don't ever because I don't want to. I just like, Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course. There you are. So now be careful with it. It is very potent. Alright, now for other things that we have some chloroform. I have a couple doses of that on hand. Of course, I cannot give you my entire stock as I have to have business myself. But I have some chloroform. We have cocaine. We have some ether. We also have, let me think. There are some very harsh ones. We have some Ravager, which is, it's a bit much. We have Repose. It is, make them go to sleep for a while. We have, what else do we have here? We have some, I have, one dose I can part with of sticks. Sticks, is highly illegal. It's known as the forgetting tree. So someone must make a will roll to not fall out unconscious, and if they go unconscious, they stay there for many hours, and upon waking, they will have no memory at all whatsoever. Basically wipes someone's memories clean.
So basically that sounds like a last-ditch resort kind of drug.
If someone is, anyone convicted of intentionally using sticks to destroy another's memories will face life imprisonment or deportation to the coal mines, that's how illegal this stuff is. But she has one dose of it if you need it. Chloroform. I have one dose of sticks. I also have classics, arsenic, but that takes a while. Many doses,
Yes. Good with elderberry wine, though. She smiles very,
Yes,
plainly.
It is very true.
Now, let's think. The chloroform would be useful to at least get someone to be incapacitated for a bit. You said something about sleeping?
I have one that would put someone to sleep. I have ether.
That would be useful.
But that can be
Yes.
fatal if taken in a high enough dosage, or it'll just make you see very pretty things for a while.
I think ether would be quite useful. Anything that would be good. She kind of thinks about it. I will have to get some pepper oil as well for my hat pins, but that's later.
Of course.
Yeah, she'll kind of like take us. She'll kind of like select the what she needs,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll be like, and in terms of payment, did you want it up front or later when I?
Oh, up front this time would be nice if you do not mind.
Very well. She
With
will.
Robbie
You
out
know,
in business is going to be difficult for a little while.
I understand how it is. She kind of mournfully sighs. She knows her business is going great because of all the mourners hats she has to make.
Yep.
But yeah, no, she'll sign like what she needs.
Yeah, you know Robbie's pretty deep in the drug market, so Robbie's out. Who's she gonna distribute to?
Exactly. So I'm gonna like give her the money. I want like some ether, like chloroform.
Mm-hmm.
I'm considering the stick,
2 doses of chloroform.
but I don't think I'll get the stick just yet.
Okay,
I don't think.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna kill a man, we want to make sure he remembers every last thing about what he did and what he did wrong. Suffer in their own identity. They're not allowed to forget.
Alright, she goes, well, thank you, Letty, for please visit more often. I miss you so.
Yes, it would be lovely to have some tea with you.
Oh, yes,
She smiles.
tea. I have a wide variety. I just got some imported. It is green tea. Very unique.
Oh, very exotic.
It
I would
is
love to
very
sample some of
light
that.
and refreshing. Well,
And if it would be rather popular with some of the ladies of my parlor. I would love to. Definitely, I would like to catch up with you on that.
of course. And please, if anyone needs anything, send them my way. Lovely seeing
Naturally,
you.
of course.
And she gives, like,
Yeah.
a peck on each cheek.
No. Yeah, she does it and like.
Stay
Shall I
as
give
long
it
as you
all?
like. Peruse the wares if you wish. So sorry for your loss again. But here, you can find many comforts if you so desire.
Unfortunately,
pride.
not for today. I think I would like the comfort of sweet revenge first.
Oui. But she'll hand you a couple business cards, like, for your other morning friends.
Naturally. She nods, and she'll take them, put little pockets. She already has like a section of her, like she puts it in with like the rest of Colette's business cards because she actually collects them to give to people. Yeah. So she'll like after doing the networking, she'll bid Colette goodbye and walk briskly back to the skeleton's keep where she's gonna meet with everyone else because I can't go about running around.
Pass by.
Yeah, I give him I give him a little ruffle of his head and give him a little candy. He's like, don't work too hard. And also, don't forget, don't stay in the rain. Dry off as much as you can.
Under the overhang.
Yeah, she knows. So she gives him a little, like, do keep safe, alright? He's so cute. Okay, yeah, if that's the case, all she's gonna do is go back to the skeleton's key, basically nurse a drink and wait, because we don't have like cell phones in this era, and like walking around looking for people is a terrible idea.
It's a terrible idea, especially in this part of the city. Especially with Robbie's boys not being out on the streets much as they normally are.
Yeah.
Alright, so back in Cardboard Town. You guys are waiting. You probably wait for a good 10, 15 minutes before you hear not bubbling flasks. I don't want that sound to go away. Shenanigans.
I was scared.
Yeah, before the ground bubbles up and you have to play the floor of lava. I meant to click rain on window. There we go. So you all wait for several minutes, almost to the point where you're starting to get kind of bored. But then, you notice the rain's died down yet a little bit more. It's only like a light sprinkle now, and you can hear it pinging on the tin roof above you. There's a couple drips, but you notice that there's been like vases of what were once probably alive flowers. They're mostly dead, but there's a couple of colors, and it just drips into the vase. And you see a young woman walk into the room. Her hair is up in a bun, but in the tattered disarray. She's got a dress on that's tattered and ripped and torn and covered with dirt. You're not sure what the original color of the dress was. Maybe some kind of shade of yellow or green, but there's a plethora of shades of brown and gray and soot and who knows what else on there. She appears to be barefoot and walks on up and plops down in a couch across from you all.
Yeah, I'll step forward and I'll like on my cane just ever so slightly lean forward and bow my head. Lady Lou.
That's me, Lockpick Lou. Welcome to Cardboard Town. I'm the ruler, the queen here. And you lot are.
I will get up and curtsy.
Gino will bow his head, but he doesn't really know how to bow, so he just kind of like nods his head
and
in
you also
respect.
notice she kind of reaches into her pocket. Goes, my name's Lou, Lockpick Lou. Full name is Lucille Jenkins. My friends call me Lou. So, and this is Larry. She pulls out a slug. A slug's about this big.
Looks
It's the biggest slug you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Larry. He's my best friend.
Does he like apples?
Mm.
Loves them. Anybody eats pretty much anything, though.
Well,
I'll
feel
just
free
take a couple of
to.
apples and go over and like put them on the floor next to her feet and just back off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, feel free to dig in. We've brought a little bit of a spread.
Well, generous of you. Might I ask what you people don't give things without wanting things in return. So, what is it you all want?
Well, Whittle Street is. You know a lot. You're a knowledgeable queen.
Yeah, I'm the queen. I have to know a lot. Queen
You
of
do.
Cardboard Town, Duchess of the Freight Hoppers Guild, and Vice President of the Underbridge Association.
You're a very busy woman. I can appreciate that. But we want to know a few particulars if you are so inclined.
All right, she kind of picks up the apple, sets it on like the coffee table that's sitting in the middle, and just puts Larry on it. And Larry immediately just starts chowing down on this apple. Right,
Food has been brought from a wake. Don't know if you've been hearing. Probably have. Bit of blood on the streets. Our blood. British blood.
yeah, there's always British blood getting spilt around, you know how it is. Somebody stabs someone, someone else stabs them back, blood everywhere. It's kind of fun sometimes.
Bit different when the Yankees are doing it, though, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if it's not the Yankees stabbing someone, it's the Irish or the Scottish. I mean, it's really everyone out for themselves, now, isn't it?
Aye. Well, we're out for ourselves. We want a bit of info on the Yanks. Have you got any?
Yanks, alright. What is it you want to know about them?
Well,
I
apparently
guess
they're
we're
not
talking
our
about
boy over there.
Mickey's boys and gals, eh?
Yeah, she like spits a little bit just to the side.
I figured as much. You must be part of Robbie's crew then.
Aye.
Interesting bloke. Moves in on my territory sometimes. I said, you can't be in Cardboard Town. He's like, well, I gotta be in Cardboard Town. I said, come on, Queen of Cardboard Town. We don't need no bloody king. But he listened
Seems you
last
backed
time.
off though.
He does. He listened. Without not threatening to shank him in his sleep. So, you know.
Yeah.
Good times.
Unfortunately, if Mickey catches wind, I don't think he's the type to listen, you know?
No, that one's even more up in at him and full of himself than Robbie is. Amen. I tell you,
So it's
they
probably
think
in
they
your
just
best
like
interest.
everything.
That somebody goes and deals with it, right? We can agree on that, surely.
I suppose so, especially if he's that's a repeat of what happened yesterday. Ooh, messy business that. So many guns, so cowardly. A real man walks around with a blade.
That they do, that they do.
Nice big sword.
You just okay then. Well, We're hoping that Mickey's death is going to be lovely, sharp and bloody. So, I was wondering if you'd I'll be all right helping us out there, Lady Lou.
You're planning on stabbing him yourself, are you?
I plan on taking his head back to the pub and mounting it on my wall.
Beautiful plan. I like that. I don't think people mount heads enough on walls, really. It could be a thing. I mean, they mount animal heads. Why not people heads too?
So, are you willing to help?
I reckon. What you wanting to know? You want some inside information on the on his boys?
So I kind of look over to Gino to sort of take over, like, what, because he's probably a bit more experienced in the whole hands-on mob thing. So I'd be like, if you don't mind talking to this lad here.
Sit down. Sit down if you're going to be included in the conversation.
He comes around and like heavily sits in a chair, and
It definitely creaks a bit as it's a hand-me-down chair.
so we need to know where they're keeping Red and Robbie. If it's the same
Where they're
place.
keeping them. Probably they got a lot of ideals. They do.
Yeah, so
No place I
hence-
can't get out of though.
Right, your
Oh.
people will probably know everything, so just wait.
No one sees us. They walk by. No one knows this is the hobo on the street. Yeah, all sorts of things. I'm not quite sure where he's at now. I can probably find out. Oh, I can tell you he's probably working on it though.
Well,
Yeah.
and he looks over at looks over at Edith and is like, Red first, and then Robbie.
All right. Well, who's Red? That's a very broad nickname.
Poppy, my daughter.
Like 12 of them in Cardboard Town alone. All right.
That's her.
Poppy then.
Poppy.
Poppy. She work with
Changes the
opium.
face a lot, but she's been known to smuggle some recreational.
All right then. All right. Did she see things? Did she see anything that went down yesterday?
More than likely.
Right. Well, I don't know whether they took anyone yesterday. They did take off a few people. But they were very paranoid at the time and with a lot of guns still. So, my people, look out for yourself first. So, I can tell you though, that if she saw things, there's probably with Tony the Butcher and his wife Jackie the janitor. They're about cleaning up and silencing.
They were headed west with a couple Americans.
They got a few audios out there. Right, so yeah, you can imagine Tony the Butcher, Jackie the janitor, probably dealing with anyone who saw something. Let's see. Can ask around about oh, I bet you I know who's working on Robbie too. I bet you it's Jimmy Knees and Sally Skinner.
Jimmy Knees.
Jimmy Knees!
Bloody hell, what kind of
busting
name's that? Honestly. Jimmy Knees.
Busting-
It's like,
Don't underestimate him. He's vicious, that one. He'll break your
Oh.
kneecaps.
well, they all are.
It helps that he's
Kneecapper
real
was probably
short,
a bit too long for the Yanks.
real
Mm.
short. So, he's
And
right at
who's
like
short
knee
one?
level. Yeah, he's one of those little fellas.
Little man.
You like a midget?
Yeah, one of them.
It's gotta be easy to spot then. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's pretty. I mean, well, if you're looking at the right eye level,
Who's the other lass you talked about? Sorry. Earrings going.
Oh, Sally Skinner is probably working on Robbie. She's the torturer. She's pretty new in the gang. But, she's Italian, I think. Accent's weird.
All right. Where do these two usually operate from, do you think?
Oh, they usually operate from one of the warehouses, because it's real messy business, breaking kneecaps and, torturing people. I'd imagine it's real messy. Gotta get someplace you can just throw a couple buckets, clean it up, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And does this butcher, Tony, does he have
Tony
a
Butcher.
shop? Yeah.
Is there a shop? Oh no, he's not that kind of butcher, if you know what I mean.
Well, it could be a good front, you know.
I don't think you thought about that.
Nah, too stupid.
Now, do you know, you've heard of Tony. You've heard of Tony the Butcher. Him being married is news to you. But Tony was a real mean one, big guy. Not as big as Ricky, but, you know, decently large fellow. He always did, oh, someone saw something, let's silence him. So he always did that kind of work. Now he's got not heard of his wife, it's Jackie.
Wait, Tony the Butcher, Tony?
Tony the Butcher?
He's married. You never.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, Jackie the
Yeah.
janitor!
That went over my head.
Lady.
God, slap me down and call me a fucking pigeon. Jesus.
Don't know what she saw in him. I mean, I can imagine what she saw on him, but I wouldn't marry anyone
Pile
like
of
that.
dead bodies. She's into it.
Maybe.
Anyway, love.
Well, about that. Huh. How many people are that kind of thing? Maybe I should start.
You do, you love.
I always do.
Nope,
Just
Gino
kind of
again.
checks on Larry. At
So-
this point, he's kind of burrowed his face into the apple. He's not eating around the apple like most slimes you've seen. He's just going in the apple, like a worm.
So, this butcher or
Yeah.
the Skinner, where
Yep.
where would they be?
We're probably working on the perspective things. Now, if more than one person saw, you know, Poppy, if more than just Poppy saw what was going on, they probably dropped Poppy off one of their hidey holes.
Where's the hidey
Probably
hole?
on the west end. Probably there's a couple old factories, down there. You can probably find them at, you know, if I was to talk to people and off them and hide them someplace, where would I? Well, I know where I'd hide them, but if I was a Yank, where would I hide them? You know, there was an old factory. Do you like shoes?
They're not
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, you're all wearing them, but I don't
Yeah.
like shoes.
Each to their own.
But there's an old shoe workshop, Norton's Shoe Factory, and they got a lot of rooms, a lot of places you could put people, and no one did a thing because it's abandoned.
All right.
so
That
that
might be a good place to start. They're probably keeping one of them there.
and then so where would
Maybe
the
not
others
Robbie.
be?
Hard to secure. Well, I have to send my people out, look around a bit. They
That
don't.
would be most
They're pretty stupid and they don't keep people there all the time. So when you see people going in and out of one place, you're like, well, that's where they are now. Rather than, you know, keeping up the act. They're real dumb.
that would be really appreciated if you could possibly point us in a direction
Yeah,
once your people find out.
alright. Cora already told me she worked out some negotiations and agreements, but this sounds fun. So, I want in.
What kind of end do you want, love?
Oh, I know. What kind of in can you give me?
Well, I mean, it might be a challenge to bust in these highly guarded factories. Don't know if you're into that kind of thing.
It's my favourite. You know, just 3 weeks ago I broke out of jail again, for like the 15th time. And they
Really?
tried to put me in the asylum last Tuesday, but I was like, not today. And I just got right out of that straitjacket. Oh, I still have it. You want to see it? It's a lovely
Sure.
one. They put extra buckles on it. They don't it would stop me. She kind of ruffles underneath.
You're a jammy
Pulls
one.
out a straitjacket that looks like it looks real. Lots of buckles, lots of ties. It's like an extra security straitjacket.
She like leans forward a little on a cane. How would
I
you like
used
to
to
put
have
Mickey
one
in
like
that
that.
instead and watch
It
him
had
struggle
more
to get out of it?
Cutouts in it though.
I'm sorry,
What about-
love, what did you say?
What about we put Mickey in that jacket and watch him struggle like a fish to get out of it?
It'd be kind of funny. I've never seen anyone else get out of this. We try sometimes, but look, you can win this prize if you get out of the straitjacket. Do you want to play? We can play right now.
Oh, I'm alright. We'll play with Mickey, shall we?
Alright, fine. I can see you don't want to play the game, but it's fine. We let you out eventually. You get like a couple hours to try and break out first.
Got things to do, love. Sorry.
Larry's very good at it. She kind of pets the slug.
Well, if you're in, how about you meet us in at this West End shoe shop?
Norton Shoe Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, when?
Should we go at night? You're good at working in the dark, right?
I'm good at working all the time.
So this should be easy then. We'll follow you.
Alright, we'll be at Norton's tonight in the dark. I'm gonna make it easier for you lot, at least. And harder for them with their shooty, cowardly guns. Ooh, bring some stabby things too.
And he appears from his sleeve. He's got like a dagger, and then it just
So
goes
now
right
you're
back.
flirting with me.
Maybe a little bit.
Alright, we'll bring lots of those. And I'll see you there.
Alright, love. If you need tea tonight, pop round.
Hey, I don't drink tea.
Nah, I mean, like, food tea.
I don't. Food and tea are very different things. When you eat and when you slurp.
Nah, they're interchangeable, love. In Yorkshire, at least. Tea is
Oh.
tea, but there's also
Oh,
tea
you're from
in dinner.
Yorkshire. That explains a lot of it. Explains so much.
You know, like
Sure, it
scones and
does.
sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. Just make sure you put a little dirt on them. That way you don't get sick.
Sure, you can have all the dirt you want.
That's how you stay healthy. Eat some dirt. In case you didn't know.
Peck of dirt never hurt no one.
Exactly. You've got it. Alright, well. Is there anything else you would like to ask, Queen?
What weapons you got?
Well, my favourite is old Shanky. And you see, she whips out what looks to be a wicked-looking prison shiv. You can tell this is not at any point in time used to be a knife. We've got old Shanky, and we've got little Shanky. She pulls out a small shiv. And you know, this one's been with me the longest. This one is just—it's just so cute. It's like a baby stabber. You can be like, I'm gonna shake your hand. You can hide it in the palm of your hand. You can be like, I'm gonna shake your hand, and then you stab him. It's really funny.
Okay.
You're
You look
right.
like you'd. I'm all right, love. I'm just thinking about giving you a cleaver and setting you loose. Kind of weight in the hand. It's a good feel.
It's kind of huff chuckles and looks at Edith like, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Anyway, swing back pub tonight. We'll all go together, all right?
All right. So you want to meet at the Skeleton Key or Norton's?
Yeah.
Skeleton.
Meet us at Skeleton Key. You can
All
tell us
right.
best routes through city, my queen.
I do know all the best places and ways. Oh! You mean? Hold on a moment. If I help you save Robbie, that would mean he owes me something, doesn't it?
Probably.
Generally speaking, that's how it works.
Pretty sure that's how it works.
Oh, I've been waiting for this day. You don't know how long. I'm gonna get dolled up for the occasion.
I've got a makeup kit you could borrow.
So nice of you. Maybe I'll put a little rouge on, like war paint.
I like your
Makes me look
style.
intimidating.
Oh, you got that down, love. You don't need intimidating. Anyway, we won't take too much of your time up, but come by tonight. We'll get you some food. You can make yourself
Alright.
up however you like, and we'll have a nice jaunt.
Okie dokie then. We'll be there later. Toodaloo. Oh, I suppose we should. Cora! Oh, I get these people back out. That's right. I ain't got time to do it. I've got to get pretty. Alright. Cora leads you back out.
Cheers, love.
Until later.
And she comes back and she grabs Larry. Cora
Another
leads you
very
out.
deep curtsy.
Cora will lead you all out, and you all are able to meet back up at the Skeleton Key.
As you guys walk back into the Skeleton Key, by the way, you more hear like a thud, 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 thud as you're walking in.
Why is it thudding?
Is that my head, or is anyone else hearing that?
Don't I think a bloody giant stomping on my
Is that
pub?
my head, or
No,
Yeah.
maybe.
because I don't think I drank that much.
And then
Yeah,
You
no.
drink a bit, love. A bit much.
as we get to the door, Gino has his hand in his coat. He's kind of walks in, like before Edith can get to the door, he kind of steps like in front and does the checks the six. Yeah, he does, and he checks the six, both sides of the door, and then steps through to one side, like before you can step, like before the king
Right.
hits the ground, he's already through the door.
I might have just
Oh,
walked
God.
into the back of Gino's shoulder because I don't know why he stopped.
I do that all the time, man. That's
did you-
that's close to home.
Just
Yeah, honestly, do you know it's nothing bad? It's just Letty just like completely blank over and over again, like pounding a pestle and mortar together, like the and like
That's what
and like
it is.
the end of it is very very red, and her hands are very very like blank, and she's just like,
all right.
Oh, yeah, O'Malley, you're making a racket.
oh,
Mm.
sorry. She
Quiet
kind of
down.
immediately stops, as if like she's just realizing it's been like a while. She looks down at the little bowl and looks up. I helped myself to your pestle and mortar, Edith. It was the closest thing I could. I'll clean this up. Sorry.
Are you grinding up some man's finger? What's all that?
This is chili. Well, it's chili paste now. All you have to do next is boil it. Well, not boil it. You want to heat it up nice enough and separate it from the oils.
All right, I've had a chili. I mean, have you got a purpose? Are you feeling like a curry tonight? I can whip something up, I'm sure.
Oh no, it's to coat my my hat pins with.
Okay.
All right. I mean, bit of a waste of food, but
I
whatever
felt
takes
better
your
when I
fancy,
thought it was a
O'Malley.
Yankee finger, but sure.
Oh no. See, when it comes to hidden weapons, you see, Vicky, there are hat pins are actually quite popular. Well, they're useful. If you coat it with a certain type of, for example, oil, the hot kind, in addition to hurting them, it'll hurt them quite additionally.
Right.
Well, I'm happy to boil it down and take the oil out, but I'm
Ma-
using it rest for a curry, all right?
That would be lovely. Thank you very much,
Oh, and we've got Queenie coming over later.
Queenie.
Lou.
Ah, yes, Miss Lou. So you've gotten in contact with them.
Yeah, she wants to come along. I'm not
That's
going to say no to
wonderful.
free help.
Yeah.
Speaking of help, I've also, well, gotten the, what's his name again? She kind of has another think. Ah, yes, Mr. Fergus, into, helping us. He seemed quite interested about, he said that there was a warehouse. Maybe your daughter's being kept there, by the way, Mrs. Cook. So he's looking into it. He'll be coming back to the Skeleton's Key.
What
Did you
time?
find anything?
Do you know?
She just thinks about it. He's an investigator, perhaps whenever it is best for him.
Well, we found out that they like to operate out of West End factories, so we're going to go and investigate Norton's shoe place.
Interesting. Shoemakers. Ugh.
Vic,
Always into some shady business, she says as she like pulls out some like opium from between her bosoms and gives it to you.
She like lights up and she doesn't snatch, but she takes it a bit quickly. Oh, thanks, love. You're an angel. But Vic, I see you're sobering up. Do you have any apprehensions? What's troubling you, love?
Well, my husband's dead, and I don't know what to do. Apart from that, I just want, to spill some blood. So if we go have a butcher's at this warehouse, we might find someone that I can shoot between the eyes. To stop myself feeling like that's what I should be doing,
Yeah, as long as it's not my daughter or Robbie, I think go mad. Honestly, couldn't give a shit.
Oh no, colonials only. We're all right. Yeah.
Colonials
I
only.
like Robbie. He's a gent.
He'll be our motto for this night.
Let's maybe have some tea, or he says, let's
no
have some
offense,
coffee. Well, no, none taken. Let's have some tea or coffee and get you straight so you can shoot where you're supposed to shoot. Come on. And he'll try to take Vic's
more
arm.
Than coffee to make me straight.
He
Just
actually
like
laughs at that.
Nah.
Yeah, he does laugh
Yeah.
at it. And
I just gesture down to all of me in a corset and dress, like, nah.
He'll still try to take you to the bar to get you some food, and because he doesn't want to go somewhere, in combat with somebody who's messed up.
Speaking of which, and about this sort of business, here she kind of has a little stack of Colette's business cards. You should take them if you wish. She offers all sorts of comforts. Should any of you need her or her lovely, lovely people under her wing. She's a good business friend of mine. She kind of passes you all a little Of course,
She
after
does it with the other one she already has.
Yeah, I kind of put my little stash of business cards back. It should be useful for whatever you wish.
Vicky kind of looks at it and then just kind of puts it on the table because he knows all of the houses. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, love. Very kind of you.
Like,
I'm going to go back for a bit. Yeah. What was that? Sorry, Vic?
I'm just looking at the card, just like, I ain't ready to go back to work, so I'm alright. For a while.
Oh. Yes, that's fair. I'm probably gonna close my shop for a week. Though I'll work on any incoming ones.
Mel, this place is staying open.
That's because you are a bastion of, well, discipline and consistency, Mrs. Cook.
No, it's because I don't want to starve to death.
That would be a
No,
very
excuse
good
me,
reason
I'm going
as
for a smoke. She just hobbles off.
Mm-hmm.
Do
You go out the back or
Vicky
the
looks very
outside?
confused because he doesn't know what a bastion is.
He either does Gino.
He's just
so.
stood there like, did you just call Mrs. Cook a bastard? Is that what happened? What just happened?
No,
Very
no.
well, beloved.
A bastion is a pinnacle of something.
All right.
Now, when
So-
Edith says
Okay,
she's
and a
going
pinnacle
for-
is what?
I think it's a boat. I think it's a boat. I think.
No, the ideal.
I
She
thought
is
it
the
was a piece
ideal
of anatomy, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Oh.
You
She
guys are
kind of
getting
just,
so
like-
high right now.
So I'm
It's
guessing
okay.
you're
What are we
smoking
making?
opium.
I am smoking pure opium. I am feeding my addiction.
You're doing the
Oh,
fine
dear.
opium. Yes, that is what was bought.
Chasing the
All right,
dragon.
So
Mix my
Oh
cooking
yeah,
down.
by the way,
have the rules.
Vicky isn't that drunk. Vicky is just depressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm not going to be that high. Maybe.
roll me a
Yeah,
d10.
yeah.
Sure. Let's hope I don't go into a freaking coma for like 10 hours. That would be so bad. 8.
Okay, 8. So you are going to be really high for the next 22 minutes. And I also need you to make me a will roll, a will save.
Okay, let me have a look at my will. Yeah, okay. All right.
Just to see how you feel after this.
Yeah.
After this hit.
12.
12. Okay, you beat the DC. So you're feeling good. You're feeling better. If you go more than 24 hours without, you start getting a little twitchy. So, but you're good for right now. So that one hit was all you needed.
Yeah, I put the rest away. Save it for a rainy day.
Rainy day. Yeah. All right. And it's while Edith is probably about 11 minutes into those 22 minutes. The door opens and you see a very large Scotsman in a trench coat walking.
Yeah,
You
I
recognize
wave at
him,
him.
but it's Fergus, and he waves back and comes over to the table the three of you are sitting at.
Fergus.
Oh my
Any news?
Hello, Miss O'Malley. It's good
Copper.
to see you. Yep, my name is Fergus O'Malley, Detective Fergus. You two are. He looks at Gino and Vicky.
Oh, all right. Good.
Present.
Gino.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
All right, I assume you're in on the. Kind of looks at Letty. The business that's going on.
Yeah.
Yes. Vicky,
Yeah.
Fergus will be here to help us out as well. In any ways he can. He's an investigator, as we've already discussed. And I assume you've been looking into the warehouses.
I have. I actually. I found your girl, a puppy. Red.
Oh goodness, that was such a relief. Is she
She
Where?
lives in one of their houses, but they just moved her tonight. I was able to follow them though. Took her to a shoe factory, Norton's shoe factory.
Oh goodness.
It's one of their biggest locations, I think. There's a lot of them there. They've got to be doing something else or more than just her. Wasn't able to get close enough without, getting spotted, but not a lot of places to hide around there immediately.
Mr.
But I was
Robbie
able
might
to
be there
track
too.
him there. I took her in. Big lad.
Where's-
Well, lady.
Yes, Poppy is rather strong and, well. Speaking of which, where is Mrs. Cook? She must be told this good news immediately. That she kind of just takes a sniff and just tries to follow the opium trail.
Yeah,
Oh,
she walked out back to through the kitchen. Imagine.
Yeah, she goes. Yeah, she goes to kind of knock on the kitchen door. Mrs. Cook, we have good tidings.
You brought more?
No, Poppy's alive and she's safe. Well, sort of. We know where she is. She's in the same place that we believe Mr. Robbie would be. Norton's.
Oh, I'm either tripping real hard or you are. Who are you again?
Letty.
How
Mrs.
did we
Cook.
meet? Mm-hmm.
Well, I went to your establishment after I got kicked out of my own house for, marrying Thomas. You made me some soup.
There we go. Yeah, alright, you're real. Okay. Poppy.
Yes,
She's
she's-
alright.
Well, she's been moved to Norton's.
Well, it's convenient.
Indeed.
Oh, I'm gonna be like this for a while. Give me like 10 minutes. Alright.
You'll probably need more than that. I've met plenty of clients before. Enjoy your time. We will be out here. The inspector's here, by the way. Mr. Fergus.
Oh, don't send him out here. Alright.
He's the one who found out. Of course.
Get him a
kind of
bottle
thinks
now.
about
Flash over to the table where he's kind of sitting there.
Oh shit.
She's been gone a while. You think I should check on her? She all right?
No,
She'll put her veil down
No,
and
mate.
she'll go in and reach behind the counter with two hands, bring out a bottle, of whiskey and just pop it in front of him. Thank you, you Marty fuck. And she'll turn away and walk.
And Gino will kind of like put a hand out like to the inspector and be like, she's in mourning, you know. She lost her son.
Nah, he's always like this. Have a drink, lighten up. Could be worse.
Kind of tentatively take the bottle. You're like, all right.
We're having curry tonight, love. Do you want some?
Sure. Why not? If Miss O'Malley is going to be staying, I mean, you're to help her out.
I will be helping, yes. If you would accept my help, Mrs. Cook, I'm all right with the kitchen. I know my way with a knife.
All right. Yeah. Let me have a lie down. My heart's getting a bit weak in my old age. And then, yeah, we'll go cut some ingredients. Make a curry.
Yeah, as she's lying down, like Letty just begins with the pre-cooking. It's very precise, very like everything is like.
Yeah, you're just chopping some vegetables and stuff, peeling some potatoes. It's not too long eating.
Vicky is
before...
just sat somewhere eating bread.
Oh, Vicky. Oh, my darling.
Just
bread.
eating bread.
Darling.
Like, who cares if I get fat now?
No. Another cooking check, Edith,
Sure. Points for high?
for this curry. I mean,
Points
it's
for
pretty much
helping?
enough right now. There's only, you get an extra +1 to help for help that Letty's given you.
I'm happy to use rerolls on this, I'll be honest. I might go for a reroll.
That's end. So.
Yeah, I'm going for a reroll. Come on.
Wow.
Big numbers. Worst numbers. We ruined it.
You ruined it.
Oh wait,
you
it's
still get
12.
+6.
It's 12.
12.
So.
So it's slightly sad curry. Like before.
Totally sad.
Slightly
Yeah,
sad
Letty
curry.
just looks very confused. She's like, why is this more salty than I... We did not put this much salt in it. She looks very
We did not.
confused.
You just see like you just like, oh dear, it's happening again. Just right in tears, and then just kind of like just in front of the curry, and it'll just be like, that'll do. Wait, no.
Yeah, I just go and like hug Miss Edith. I'm like, Kate, maybe you should go lay back down, Mrs. Cook. This is just simmering now.
Don't
I
show
can
me
watch over
sympathy.
it.
It makes it worse, honestly. And you're bigger than me, so you kind of feel like my daughter a little bit, you know.
We'll be seeing her soon. We'll get her back safe. I rather like Poppy. She's lovely.
I don't know how that happened, I'll be honest. Yeah, she
She kind of like give her a little pat.
Alright,
she,
you
like,
guys
wipes-
bring up the
wipes
curry.
her nose.
Vicky's just like doing that thing, you know, where you eat like the insides of the bread, but you leave the crust. So he's just got like his fist inside a loaf and it's just
A loaf of
the
bread.
inside of bread.
The inspector's sitting there with a glass of whiskey and kind of looks at Gino and is like, so what do you do? I probably don't want to know.
So, and Gino is trying to keep the inspector's attention so he doesn't like find anything else, and so he's trying to awkwardly talk to him, and I guess he'll say,
It's very awkward.
yes, I provide protection for people, individuals, not
Bodyguard.
protection.
Yes, very good
Yeah.
occupation. You keep Miss O'Malley safe, do you?
Well, sometimes. Today, particularly.
She seems like a real nice lady.
So far, so good. And so I know you don't like us Yanks, but I try to be one of the good ones.
I assumed they wouldn't have let you in here if not.
They almost didn't. He actually kind of chuckles. You need anything else, or just waiting on some chow?
on the curry.
And are we at the bar?
You guys are at a table.
Oh, okay, good. And Vic, is Vicky at the table with us or somewhere else?
I assume Vicky's at the table, or maybe like the next table over, just with their sad loaf of bread.
I'm probably still at the table. I just went to the kitchen, got a loaf of bread, and came back. So I'm just sat there stuffing my face with sad bread. Yeah, just came back with my arm in a baguette, just like.
Which makes it even more awkward, just sitting at the table. But Edith and Letty come out with the curry to just bring out a big bowl, I imagine, and a ladle, just serve it out. Edith, does your pub have an upstairs? Do you guys do you live in the upstairs? Or there's
we have it upstairs. Yeah.
All right, so down the stairs, as you guys walk in from the kitchen, walks Lou. You didn't see her come in the front door. You didn't see her come in the back door. You didn't see her pass any of the windows. She's just walking downstairs. Not real nice place you got here.
Cheers, love. Have a seat.
Thank you. And she'll be like, "Oh, Inspector!"
I attempt to curtsy while sitting down.
Just
Doesn't
smash
that
face
you
into bread.
stretch your skirts a bit?
Yeah. Inspector almost spits whiskey out as she addresses him. He's like, "Oh, bloody hell. What is she doing here? She's crazy."
and
We got
Gino's
friends in weird places.
Right?
Like
We
that.
spoke about this before. She knows about well.
I didn't think she'd actually be coming, though. Yeah, it was too exciting. I couldn't pass it up, It's real great. Good to see you. I remember you put me in jail a few times, but, it doesn't work, so. Now we're working together. And he's like, "Meh." And as you all eat a very interestingly awkward meal, that is where we're going to wrap up tonight's session. As you guys have all the pieces for the heist you are about to pull and all the information you can get. Next week, we're going to see how it goes down. So thank you everyone for watching. Woo! Yes, we'll get weapons. All the good stuff. We're going to go around. We're going to say who we are, where we can find you online, and what your favorite part of tonight's session was. Let's start off with Vicky. How are you doing, Vicky? Vicky Maldo.
Hello, I'm doing great. Vicky Marbone. I am Shakespeare. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Shakespeare. All of my information is on my Twitter of the other games I'm in and when they're on, because I can never remember all of them. But you can find me there, and all of my updates are there. I also do lots of knitted things, which are also there. And my favorite bit has to be just all of the interactions with Gino, to be honest, because he's stuck being this poor little American guy surrounded by these people who are just like, yeah, let's just kill all the Americans. Let's kill them all. Let's just paint the streets of their blood. Oh, not you, though. Not you, though.
It's okay.
So, yeah, and
Maybe you,
pickpocketing
though.
him was just so much fun. just waving his wallet in front of his face, just like, no. So yeah, it was all amazing though. I love all of the characters, and Lou, oh my goodness, I love Lou and Larry.
She's beautiful.
So yeah, I can't wait till next week. It's gonna be so great. It's gonna be so great.
Awesome. We also have the ever so fantastic Letty O'Malley, who knows all the right people.
Hey. Yeah, so I think I probably share the same opinion as Shakes with how amazing it all was again. That was a really good session. Thank you so much, Lindy. First game ever ran by you, and oh my god. Honestly, I have a lot of really good good memories of everything there. Really, yeah, definitely. I actually really loved the interactions with just Edith and everyone as well. Just how she's just this kind of grouchy mom that everyone loves, and that the mom vibes are real there. That was amazing. But the ending was really cool because it gave me like Harley Quinn and Batman movie vibes there. Like the really reluctant inspector dude and like the crazy girl going, "Hey, what do you know?" And I'm just like, that made me so happy, like happy beyond reason. So yeah, no, thank you so much for running. That's been really cool, just like meeting everyone and just the dynamic's different from like the game that we were all doing. So that was really cool. As for me, I'm Lark Lawyer on Twitter, Lawyer Lark on Instagram, though you're probably not going to find me much on either because I started playing FF14 recently, so Final Fantasy has just kind of devoured my life, but you could find me as Lawyer Lark, literally, on the game, in Coral if anyone plays in Crystal.
Awesome.
That's pretty much me.
Sweet. We also have our poor American boy.
Oh, poor Gino. Can't even tell Mama you love.
Yeah. So Graybeard Tavern. Coming in late was awesome because it just gave the whole herky jerky start to it, and really made the first interaction with Edith and everything just kind of like clanky and threw him off. You guys, I could not keep. Because Gino is very introverted and everything, and I couldn't help laughing. You guys just kept cracking me up. Oh my god, the street characters, Lindy, were just amazing.
God. Sean
and the
horror
again. The fear was real. Vicky kept throwing me off because you did the 3/4 bottle of gin perfectly. Oh my god! I was like, wait a minute, are they really drinking gin? Because you had the stagger going well and everything. I'm like, oh man. So you guys are always all amazing. And then Letty, the forgetting. The adding in the forgetfulness of your character was beautiful. Though I thought the chili thing was gonna somehow be hair dye, like coloring for your hair. But if anybody needs to find me, look on Twitter. My schedule's there, and I love me my props. So anytime I'm anywhere, I'll have something to play with. So that's it for me.
Awesome.
Thanks.
And of course, the ever so grumpy, yet ever so lovely, rolling really well on her charm checks, Miss Cook.
With the charm of 1, I take over the city.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute blast. It's so nice to play something different from Tilly, who's like, oh, hello, very nice. And I was like, nah, I just don't care. Just kill everyone. Let's go. Let's do this. Getting crunk as a 57-year-old woman is a lot of fun. I am Humbledore. You can find me at Twitter at Humbledore6. I occasionally post up whatever I feel like. I'm back at uni at the moment, so everything's kind of on dead mode on that front. Favorite moments of the session: beef with Gino, incredibly fun. I hope, Greybeard, I love you very much as a role player. I hope you don't take it personally.
No, in no way, shape, or form. Love it.
Sweet drama. That's all I want. Letty getting just so many supplies. Like, yes, I think we'll get all the drugs for this, all of them. Mm-hmm. And then obviously just Vicky being the absolute sweetheart. Yeah, just Vicky being an absolute sweetheart throughout this, going, yeah, I'm gay, I'm here, I'm queer, I'm ready to go and stab someone or strangle them with these lovely silk gloves that I got from my dead husband. Like, I'm there for all of that. And thank you very much, Lindy. It's been an absolute pleasure playing in your game for the very first time. So thank you so much.
Oh, shucks. Thanks. That was super duper fun. I had a blast, obviously. I am Lindy. I'm Laugh Love Lindy. I've been playing on Encounter Roleplay for quite a while, but you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, etc. Pretty much any form of social media as Laugh Love Lindy. I play and GM a lot of tabletop RPGs. This is my first time GMing Unhallowed, so I'm having a lot of fun with it. We'll get into some more drama and maybe even probably some combat. Let's be real, there's going to be combat next week. People are going to die next week. Now, who dies? I don't know. one of my favorite moments. I loved all of your characters. I love how this dynamic feels so different from our regular Just Curios game. These bunch are a lot more sad and serious, and well, I wouldn't say more bloodthirsty, but I don't know. We've got some real bloodthirsty people.
We kill, yes? Yeah.
Kill, yes. All right.
Yeah. Magdalena makes up for like 85% of all bloodthirsty in the other pie.
Let's be honest.
Literally.
The thirst is real.
But one of my favorite moments of tonight was actually chat's reaction. I dropped in a couple Easter eggs tonight from previous Encounter roleplay campaigns. Lockpick Lou was my Call of Cthulhu character a few campaigns back. And yes, she was crazy. But also, literally, you could not keep her in jail or in an insane asylum. She was a master escape artist and real good at finding information, and her pet slug, Larry. So that was the chat's reaction to Lou being there, the Queen of Cardboard Town. That was fantastic for me. And then I loved all the inner character interactions. Poor Letty was like, yeah, it's for a friend. And I'm like, sure it is. Like that was just making Letty like blush and be like, oh no, not like that was great. And just everyone was so fantastic. I cannot wait for next week to see everyone get down and get some bloodthirsty on with these Americans. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching in the chat and on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this as well. I'm going to let us go with a preview trailer of the game we have going on tomorrow night on Encounter Roleplay, which is Judge Dredd. So thank you. Tune in next week for a resolution and climax of this Robbie's Angels. And then we'll be back to Desk Curios as Holotail will be back week after next. So thank you all so much. I hope you have a lovely night. Try not to roll too many net ones because we won't be here laughing when you do.